What's up? All right, I'm done now. Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. What's going on? My name is Ultimate DJz. Welcome in to Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, where we've got things to do tonight. We got Jules Verne in the lab with some nerdy stuff. We got Griffin over on the side with his pretty posters and his green persona. and we've got all of you guys. Thank you so very much for being here. Let's get it started with a Talking Trek server sound off. You guys hit it in the chat. Captain Q kicking us off on 57. Noon Whistle on 29. What's going on? Jace on 44. Scaly back from the Outback on 193. Spectre on 11. Davrick on server 21. Aquila Hawk on 21. Also Tarpitude on 70. Pirate Yar on 34. Admiral Maris on server 12. Raj on 9. Jason Cash on server 18. What's up? Peregrine on 8. Dragon Keeper on server 53. Not a trash server, he says. Kel on 193. Enterprise Actual on Lucky 13. Also Corellius on 13. Trickle on 15. Housekeeping on server 16. Devil in the Belfry on 14. Appreciate you guys all being here. Pirate Yaya on server 43. Commander Taylor on 187.2. Yes. Spectre says, it ain't easy being green. I know. Bender the Robot on 51. Major Sam on 72. John Drill on 32. Shiz on 24. Duagolio 32. What's up, Stealth Monkey on 89. Bel Air on 70. And Alicia on 92. JP on 158. Contradiction on 13. Keymaster and Nowhere Man both on 14. Jason on 193. Silver Type on 40. Floyd on 21. Calamustastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastastas Lord Scarin on 49, Yorg on 157, Karoon on 93, Legionnaire on 33. Oh, God, Spock on 35. First-time first-time chatter, Arbiter Dread on server 195. Thank you so very much. We've got 111 additional messages in the Talking Trek server sound off. And wow, look at that. 287 people in the live studio audience already here today. Thank you guys so very much for being here. My name is Ultimate DJz, and this is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. I did indeed get a haircut. It was after this weekend. It was so hot in the studio all weekend long. So, I mean, it was getting a little shaggy anyway, so I had to go get my haircut. Good evening to you, one and all. We've got a nice full stage here tonight. Jules Verne will be joining us shortly. Griffin is here. Griffin, how was your Sunday? Tell us a little bit about your...
Great.
Yeah?
I got all kinds of sleep. I was well rested. I, had breakfast brought to me in bed. Heck no. None of those things happened to me. I was done streaming at 10 o'clock in the morning, and at 10:01, I get a phone call saying, "Yeah, guess what, honey? I just got a phone call from my girlfriend, and we want to go to the beach today down in St. Pete," which is over an hour from where we are. So I took a nice hot shower, brewed a cup of coffee, head on over there, and down to the beach we went, where I fried like a lobster, but absolutely nothing to sit in the shade. And she didn't even pack any wine or beer or anything.
You didn't get wine after all
I
that?
Had Capri Sun. I had freaking Capri Sun and Lunchables.
What?
And I had to barter them from her kid because they're for the kid, and there was nothing for me, just for the kid. So I had to help him build a sandcastle just for a Capri Sun. It was like slave labor.
Dude, that sounds like a terrible day.
The moral of that story is it ain't easy being green.
Yeah, no doubt. Galvanox says, "Oh, there sounds like there was a lot of wine from what I'm hearing right now."
Oh, you think so, Galvanox? What server are you on?
Oh, that's funny. Swimbot says, "Damn it, now I want Capri Sun." Yeah, Orion slave labor, Tony Pie. It's good.
Indeed.
It's fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. We had a great weekend. As a matter of fact, I do just want to take a quick second and thank everybody who was involved with the Saturday show. From our very quick interviews to Griffin, who was there the entire 24 hours, 23 hours and 58 minutes to be exact.
Good job on that math, DJ.
You know what? That last 2 minutes, man, to hell with it. Dude, we were about, so one of the two of the most viewed clips.
Outage took him out for like 20 minutes, wasn't it?
What's that now?
The power outage took him out for like a good 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I did lose power.
I remember. I had to read poetry by myself.
That's right.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
Well done,
That's right. Karkin was there. We had Major Sammo was there. Beck was there. Had a lot of great guests that day. Thank you guys. Spectre stopped up on stage for a little bit. It was a great show. We appreciate everybody. Thanks to everybody who put that thing together and watched. Well, where'd you go? But anyway,
I accidentally hit refresh with my thumb button. I got a new mouse. I got a new mouse, and my thumb hit the stupid button on the side, and I've never hit it before. Am I bad?
Man, he's breaking stuff. Yeah. So I will tell you, 2 of the most viewed clips. Well, there's one that's up there that involved an accident of mine, but the 2 of the best most viewed clips was one of each of us actually falling asleep. Griffin, you fell asleep live.
I never fell asleep.
You did. You did. There's a clip. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, this was so funny. Did anybody? Okay.
I don't know if he fell asleep or just looked higher than I was.
No. Oh, well, he did. He looked that.
Because there was many a moment his eyes were like closed more shut than mine, just
I was high on life, Karkin, unlike
we're gonna get you guys all of the links from the show, that way you guys can watch it, because yes, Griffin is very, very weird looking as he falls asleep. All right.
What did you do?
That sounds creepy when I say that, but I mean, dude, he was sitting there with like this. You guys saw it, right? With his weird grin as he literally passed out. All right, I mean, dude.
That's practice from working in retail for 17 years. When you get into management, you learn how to sleep standing up. You're supposed to put on a pair of dark sunglasses.
Oh
my! You're just off in the corner, and
yeah. It was an odd look. Now, when I fell asleep, it just looked like I was having a stroke. One of the eyes rolled back in my head. One of them was open. One of them was closed. It was.
It's so true. You were fighting for your life at that point. Your brain was like not getting enough blood.
No, my brain. It was a long 24 hours, but it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for everybody who hung out and was a part of that piece of magic. Can I just say that is something I can check off the bucket list. Don't know that will happen again. Just throwing it out there.
Check what off specifically?
Doing a 24-hour stream. Because
you did a 23-hour and 58-minute stream, you dumb. So we're going to do it again next month.
Nope, I'm going to go in. I'm going to add. I'll add an opening and a closing to that playback, and it'll be 24 hours. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there you go. That's how that works. But it was a lot of fun. We really appreciate everybody, and I hope that you were there to be a part of that, because I don't know that that'll ever happen again.
It was great.
It was great, but it was incredibly taxing, and I don't know that I'll ever do that again. All right, it'll have to take something.
I didn't think you were going to make it to late night. I was coming home, and I'm like, oh, he's going to be gone. He's going to, he's never up as late as this. And sure enough, you were on.
We made it. We almost got off the air at 6 a.m. And then there were a couple of the European server players, which, by the way, that was super great.
Family.
Let me tell you, the mouse family. Let me tell you, it was so great.
No, the armadillo. The armadillo.
we had Kuka. That's right. Kuka. What's his name? Kuka. He was.
I'm sure that's not it.
That's probably.
And that might be a derogatory term, so we apologize.
Wait, really? Sorry. No, hold on. Koopa is who it was. Koopa.
And the Aardvark.
And the Aardvark.
Aardvark.
Yeah,
Aardvark.
Koopa and Aardvark, they carried the overnight. They did. And the mouse family. So thank you guys very much for that. We almost got off the air, and then they came in and saved the day. You
didn't think we would make it that long, and I told you the whole entire time. Europe is going to wake up, and they're just going to shoot us in the arm, and that's exactly what happened.
That is what happened. We did finally get to finish Resurgence, which was a lot of fun. What a great story that is. Listen, I'm not going to necessarily say this out loud, but I'm going to say it. If you are looking for a very different Star Trek experience, and you just need a little bit of a break or want something a little bit of a taste that's different than STFC, I could not recommend Star Trek Resurgence any more than I do. It is a 5-star title. It is very affordable. It is infinitely playable. And the story, the soundtrack, the voice actors, the writing, it is an amazing, amazing game. And I'm pretty sure you can buy that thing for like $25 right now on Epic Games. It is crazy cheap. And it's such a good. Oh, it's on Steam now too. That's amazing. You guys should check it out if you're wanting something different. I'm not saying it's not at all like STFC. It's not that kind of a game. It's like a choose your own adventure, a choose your own story. But you're making your own feature film is kind of how it is.
Likely? I wanted to ask, how are the changes by the end? How likely can you change the whole storyline with your choices?
Don't know. I've only played once.
Significantly, remember, DJs, we were hanging out with the developer, the actual mastermind behind the game on Star Trek The Crew 7, and he told us that there are very wildly different outcomes in the game, and that's the replay value right there. You can play a second time and make different decisions and end up in a completely different place in the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can,
because there's a lot of telltale stories that play like that with the storyline, but the choices, it still gets to the same outcome. So it's kind of like, so it would really be really nice to see it actually make some changes.
If I'm not mistaken, when we had them, and maybe we should reach out and get them on the show, because what a great game that is. They offered to come on the show. We probably should now that we've actually finished the game. I'm pretty sure he told us that there were no less than a half a dozen separate endings, which I would love to try to figure out how to get there. You know, so it was very, very cool. There are probably some aspects of the core storyline that you're not going to be able to step around, but I mean, there's going to be those pivot points, right? But there's a lot, like there's an ending. There are different endings, Spectre. So that was great. So we finished that. That was probably my favorite. I don't want to say my favorite portion of the night, but I was really I really wanted to finish Resurgence that night. I'm so glad we did.
We definitely made that happen.
It was great.
You know, one of those turning points is maybe when you go back, if you don't lock that poor alien out of the airlock before you jettison out of the ship.
I was thinking,
I think that jerk you were, then maybe we don't go to war with that whole alien race later, and then she shows up and try to blast you right in the butt.
That's not at all what happened there.
That's what I recall.
But all right, but I do think that was a very pivotal moment in the story, to be honest with you. I know most people don't know what we're talking about right now, but there comes a choice where, like, I felt like it was super key. It was very, very big. So anyway, listen, we don't need to spend a bunch of time talking about it. Just what a great game, and I'm really glad that we had some time Saturday to finish it. Tonight, what we're going to do is get our nerd on a little bit. It is later than I'd normally like to start a podcast, but I wanted to trade off because we didn't get to do a podcast Sunday. I was actually sleeping a great portion of the day.
Well, then good for you.
It was very nice, actually. I went inside, I made a little bit of breakfast, and then I took a nap and didn't wake up until 8 p.m. I got a full night's sleep during the day. Then, how's my butt? It's fine now. All right. And for those who didn't watch or was a part of that stream, that's going to sound like a really weird question. Okay. But no, I had gastrointestinal distress.
Well,
after that banana smoothie / hot sauce slurry that you put in your stomach. Yeah. That's all you did.
There was a lot of hot sauce. And as a matter of fact, there ended up being a lot of bourbon too. So there was a lot of hot sauce. That
didn't help the whole
hot
soup
sauce,
that was happening
bourbon, and banana day. All right. There was so much.
Milk. Add the milk in there. Milkshake from the thing. Like that's the extra cream. With
Smoothie.
The bourbon.
Yeah, there was a little bit of milk. It was a smoothie.
Touch of marshmallow.
Yeah.
Orion Griffin did you in too.
That's right.
Oh. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was an amazing piece of what happened on the show. But nonetheless, let me address this very quickly. So it's currently available on VOD on Twitch. I have been requested to upload that to YouTube. Here's the problem. It won't let me upload it.
No, I can't.
It's too big.
It has to be segmented out, correct?
Yeah, it's too big. It's impressively large. So it's going to have to be pieced out if we were going to do it. Here's what I'm kind of thinking about doing, because honestly, we've got a lot of video content that we're still trying to get out, and this is not a super high priority to me. This one is available on Twitch for what? Probably the next 4 weeks or so. If you want to,
you have about a month to go back and check it out. That's what I suggest you do. You should do just like YouTube. Just load Twitch on your computer. Boom, off you go.
Looks like about 6 weeks they're going to let you go back, because our last. Oh no, that's not correct. Looks like our last VOD is up there. So 60 days. There. That must be because we're a partner. They give us 60 days because the video that's expiring tonight at midnight was aired on April 11th. So they'll give you 60 days. That's right, Tarpitude. YouTube can't take all of that at once.
No, especially the parts where you're crapping your pants, not once but twice. What? Never mind.
That probably didn't happen. Okay. That being said, we probably could do a 6-part series and do it in 4-hour chunks. But you also got to think that's a huge amount of processing power on our machines to break that apart and re-encode it in 4-hour blocks and all that stuff. So anyway, that is likely something that we can do over the next couple of months. But if you want to be current and do all that stuff, then let's just watch the VOD, okay? Because it'll be a lot of work to get that on YouTube. And I apologize for those of you who want YouTube, but that's going to be really, really tough for us to do. So we'll try and get that going here over the next few weeks if we're able. A couple of other things that happened as a result of that show was the fact that we didn't do a podcast on Sunday. So as I was preparing for this, I was actually having a conversation with Major Samo, who, by the way, quick promo, is giving away 5 battle passes on her show later tonight. So after our show, if you guys want to go check out Major Samo and win, then you guys can do that. She will be giving away 5 battle passes. And tonight, before we leave here, I made the announcement yesterday, Griffin, a 24-hour Spam It contest that we would be giving away 5 battle passes tonight. So if you haven't yet and you're listening live and you're live in the live studio audience, be sure to go to our Discord and go into the Spam It room and be sure to register, because before the end of the show, I will be drawing 5 battle passes from there. And I am going to do it. I'm not going to forget. It's going to happen. All right.
Sure it will.
So that's, I'm not going to forget. So, but I decided while I was talking to Major Samo, I said, she asked if I was going to stream tonight, and I said, I don't know if I'm ready to go right back into that. And then I thought, well, you know what? We would kind of technically owe him a podcast, and there's plenty of stuff to talk about. All right. And so I was talking with Jules. He's going to be here shortly. We were talking with Blue and Putz. There are some things that I want to talk about tonight. So I thought this is a very appropriate and perfect place, especially for people like Scalyback, who complain that we're not doing enough podcasts these days. All right.
They're not complaining. They're providing valuable feedback. Not everybody has access to unlimited data.
No, it's not that, but it's not just him. There are other players as well who just like this format better. And I get it. I mean, really, truthfully, I get it. There's less distraction. There's no noises and sounds and things like that going off. It's more structured. It's more serious. It's less goofy sometimes. And
we keep it to a maximum of 2 knock-knock jokes per episode.
That's right. And they're different formats, right? They feel very different. So it's okay for players to like one versus the other. It's why we offer more than one format. But I thought this would be a great...
Because of the stupid news, and you've skipped it. Just remind me.
I have skipped the stupid news. I usually do on weeknight shows because I don't have as much time to prepare. On a weekend show, I can do that. Calamustastis says, so there will be no permanent record of the 24-hour marathon. Yes, there will be. Yes. It may not be public for a while, though. You got 60 days to watch it. I will download it onto a drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be able to process and get it back up into clips. All right. So Maxenheimer says there's a quantum amount of stuff to talk about. There is. All right. And we could probably actually start with that because that was in my show notes. All right. What does quantum mean? I had a chance to talk to the Arc Runner this month, and we had a little bit of a, I don't want to say like a joking conversation about it, but
were you mean to Tiger?
No, he's not the Arc Runner.
Oh, right.
He's the game designer. All right. Okay. Let's start with quantum. All right. The events that publish this month that have the word quantum in them are going to be the sourcing path for these premium particles. All right. We've been talking about the premium particles. That's something that we've been discussing about their ability. And if you take a look or about how they're going to be sourced. All right. Scopely, I'm just going to be super matter of fact about this. All right. I said and feel very strongly that I was told that the premium particles were not going to be sold. All right. My notes say that. Everything that I have says that. Now, in this conversation today, I was told that the patch notes do in fact say that they are going to be in the store. Now, we might have seen that. We might not have seen that. I might not have paid attention. It might have been something that changed. Whatever, okay? Whatever. They made a decision. They do this, okay? This happens, all right? Because what we're looking at today in the store is an actual pack directly selling premium particles. However, the whole reason for the Quantum series was because they said they were not going to be selling the premium mirror dust. Okay, and if you look inside the graphics room, I've got a couple screenshots of what I'm talking about. There's a pack out there. Now, Retrieving says bait and switch. I disagree. It's not bait and switch, okay? Because they can sell whatever they want, and what they're selling through the Quantum series of events is not any less than what they advertised, okay? These Quantum events are premium style of events. I mean, they are heroic. Let's just call it what it is. They're heroic events. Sourcing a premium currency that Scopely feels very, very proud of. Okay, like I'm just going to kind of leave it right there. They are very, very proud of these particles. These particles, in their mind, feel very, very overvalued, in my particular opinion. Okay? However, we saw these particles come in. Weren't they in the? Weren't they in this month's Syndicate event? They were.
They were. Mm-hmm.
Which is a heroic event. They're in this Prime event. All right, where you can buy all the primes and get extra quantum particles, or premium particles rather. They're in this event completion meta, which, by the way, some players are going to get a handful. This event actually earns and deserves my praise. All right? It's an event that can be super heroic and is almost Kobayashi Maru style, but everybody will be able to get some, which, by the way, is exactly kind of how I think most events should be. Okay? Syndicate included. Maybe you can't finish it without spending it, but everybody should be able to dip their toe in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Retrieving, I think we're having a very fundamental difference of opinion when it comes to what is actually considered a bait and switch. Nothing that I've described here is bait and switch.
Oh,
all right.
I'm an expert at bait and switch in retail because I'd have to know this part of my job. Bait and switch would be specifically if they sold you this currency showing what it would buy in the store, and then after they sell it to you, completely changing what it would be worth in the store.
For example, a bait and switch would have been The whole Mantis debacle a year ago. What would have been bait and switch would have been the prime parts researches that came out right before the multi-tier primes. Those are bait and switches, legitimately. Okay? This is not, by the way. You might find it distasteful, but this particular event, the Quantum Mirror Universe SMS, this is the one of the entire month that has the premium particles in it that I'm totally cool with. I like this event. They've got some stretch goals there for the super competitive ultra uber whales, and they've got milestones available for everybody in just doing missions, just completing events. All right, I'm fine with that. I like that, in fact. All right, so premium particles are coming through these quantum series of events. Here's another one up today, Quantum Temporal Artifact Hunt. By the way, Quantum, sorry, wrong one. The Quantum Temporal Artifact event, which we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes in detail, requires 16,000 temporal thingies. Temporal disruptors, thank you. Thingies. Okay? 16,000 temporal disruptors. By the way, can you earn that free to play? Sure. Should you be hoarding those things? Probably not. Okay? Because the temporal artifacts are valuable. This is the problem.
What was the number of days? Didn't you say it was 27 days?
27 days of accumulation without spending one. Now, for the record, I don't think that's good for anybody. I don't think that's good for your account. I don't think that is good gameplay. Yet, Scopely has asked the question, and even recently, why do players hoard things? Ta-da! This is why. This is why. And now players like myself or like Jules or like Blue who have other gameplay strategies in mind face a very difficult decision. Okay? Blow up your strategy for, what might be a couple dollars. I don't want to say a couple dollars. In my mind, it's a couple dollars worth of premium dust. All right, but in Scopely's mind, it must be worth thousands of dollars, or at the very least, $100. Because if you take a look, just so happens that there is, in fact, a $100 pack with the precise number of temporal disruptors that you need.
Coincidence.
Now, you remember how I said last month, and you know what? I deserve this. I deserve this, Griffin, because I said last month, you remember when I said players should not really be that fussy about buy this style of events. Jonathan Ingram, you remember we had this exact same conversation. You said, I never buy packs for those events. They're just added value, incentive for me to buy early. If I want what's being sold, then I'll actually buy it. And I'll take the extra goodies with it, but I'm not going to buy something for the extra goodies, right? We talked about that?
Right.
Okay. I feel like Scopely said, hold my beer on that. Because these aren't just prime events now. They're not just buy this and get this events. This is a whole monthly meta around a research particle that cannot be earned other than spending, and they've put it as a reward behind events that require spending. Now, I have a little bit of a problem with that. All right. Now, granted, by the way, not all of the events are that way. Just all of them except for one. All of them except for one. In the graphics room, you're going to find Jules' chart on the Quantum Mirror Universe 1 event. How all these points are going to come and where you can get them, how you get them, or how much you'll have to spend to get them. For example, I will point out, in this particular event, again, I'm good with it in this particular event, that there is, in fact, 14,000 points available to a free-to-play player. Okay? And that, by the way, doesn't even include the heroic SMS. 14,000 just for events, which is going to equal 675 premium mirror dust. That is phenomenal. And also not enough premium mirror dust to do even one singular research.
Oops.
Now, there could be some premium mirror dust earned from leaderboards, but the leaderboards only go first, second, and third place. You could also get some extra premium mirror dust from completing either one or both of the Recruit Mirror Picard events. Now, fortunately for me, I did complete that. I'm probably going to complete it again, so I'm going to get a good chunk of Mirror Universe particles there. I'm actually going to get an extra 2,200. That will allow me to do, that combined with my 675 is going to give me 2,800 particles. That's enough for me to do 2 researches. Eek. 2 researches. In everything that I'm going to be able to do this month. 2 researches worth of the premium dust. That being said, at least it's nothing. Okay? I mean, at least it's not nothing, rather. Again, I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot, but the Mirror Universe 1 event, I'm okay with how it's set up. I think they're guarding the particles too closely, in my opinion. But this particular event is fine. Where I take big exception is that they have really kind of double, triple, or even quadrupled down on the get this or buy this event series. They've actually named it now. It's Quantum. It's not even heroic anymore. It's Quantum. AKA, you will have to spend. Like, this isn't even something you can really effectively hoard. Like, at least with heroics, you are capable, if you've done it long enough, saved long enough, strategized long enough, you're capable of doing some of that stuff free to play. But the Quantum series is vastly different than that. It's directly dependent upon a pack. Now, I say 27 days for you free-to-play out there. And by the way, that's realistic. 27 days. Is it healthy for your account? No, not at all. But Scopely has proven time and time again that they are going to... that players like today are going to feel punished if they have spent any of their currency up to this point. Now, I saw some people say, well, I haven't spent any since the last temporal event, and I still can't do it. Well, that doesn't matter. There could have been a temporal event a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. That's not the concern, okay? Whether or not they offer an abundance of events is up to you to decide which ones to play in. This brings me back to the heroic SMS for officers. You can't do them all. Okay? You just can't. Nor should you be able to free to play. But I get it, Maris. How dare we engage in previous content? Well, this is why. It's the same thing with materials. Like, just raise your hand. How many of you guys have been trained to spend materials on weekends? How many? You've been trained to spend materials only on weekends because there's going to be an event. There's going to be an auction. Every single one of us know that pattern. That doesn't necessarily mean that everybody follows that pattern. Ripper would come out here and say, upgrade what you want when you want. Upgrade what you want when you want. Okay. I did that with my temporal disruptors. I joked with Griffin that just 2 or 3 days ago, I spent 7,000 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That would have at least got me a couple of particles today. Now, my fault. This event was in the calendar. My fault. Should have read the calendar. But you know what? Did you hear what I said? Keyword. 7,000. Still not enough to even come halfway through completing this event. Spock says, it's weird. It's almost like we're being trained not to play the game unless there's an event. That's kind of how it's always been. Except Scopely has tried, or at least through conversations, tried to dismiss that particular game perspective. They don't want players hoarding. Then what are we doing with the Quantum Series? I mean, that's a genuine question. If Scopely doesn't want us hoarding, why release things like the Quantum Series? It's bad. And you're right, Maris. Hoarding and then Scopely giving up on it is exactly why the Ultra Recruits have become a completely worthless currency. Ultra Recruits aren't worth anything anymore. Nothing. So, the Quantum Series of events is literally ultra heroic. I see a lot of people in the chat fussing about, well, free-to-play are getting squished out of the game, and I don't feel like they're getting squished out of the game any more than they used to be. However, I will agree that there are a number of events anymore that are buy this in order to complete the event. Now, the differentiation I'm going to make here is that you guys, the free-to-play, don't have less events. There's just a lot more. Right? I actually saw this comment earlier today. I feel like it took me 10 solid minutes to figure out what events were actually meant for me to engage with versus spend on. Is that good? We just asked. That's probably not good, is it? Did I got to take 10 solid minutes just to filter out the stuff that asked me to spend money? I don't feel like that's good event design. Legionnaire says saving 16,000 temporal disruptors would take 106 days. Fake news. You get 600 a day. That's without the prime. Okay. By the way, in all fairness, that is, I guess, if you have the NX-01. Do have to have the NX-01. But you get 600 a day. Legionnaire says I only get 150. Then you're missing 450 from silent hostiles, my friend. You got to kill the silent hostiles to get the other 450.
I don't have the NX-01. You don't need the NX-01.
Thank you.
To grind those.
All right. I couldn't remember if it was back there or not.
It's the silent enemies. You can do your triple pulls, 450, and then the 150 you get from the thing. 600 a day.
Correct.
Okay. There you go. So 600 a day. That's out there. Okay. And no, you don't need the NX-01 to do it, Floyd. I was incorrect. Thank you, Karkin. Legionnaire says, I can't do silent hostiles effectively. Well, that might be a little bit of a different question. If you can't do the silent hostiles effectively, what's your ops level? That's going to matter. All right? Because if you're a 40 or 41, it's going to be argued that this content isn't quite for you yet. This was one of those things. Beck actually had talked to me here not long ago when we had teased the thought, Griffin, of doing an actual what to focus on when you turn 40 event series, like looking at all the loops now. Oh, hang on a second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think about this. Legionnaire says your ops 47, but your max ship power is 33 million. That might be a little lean, buddy. I don't remember. It's been a minute since I was ops 47, but I feel like that's a little bit lean. So it might be good for you to pause for a second. Might be good for you to pause for a second and like start beefing up some research and your ships and things like that. Schwag says this is an officer thing. He can totally do silence with that power. Okay. Thanks, Schwag. I can't remember. We have a Kelvin and a Valdor. At Ops 47, ooh, you're missing one of the best ships in the game, buddy.
Pylum.
The Pylum, baby. Where you at on the Pylum? Best ship in the game. And I'm Ops 57, and I'm still saying that. Best ship in the game. Period. Hands down. Dragon Keeper says, lies, it's the cube. Rant Susie, I'm reading comments in both sections. I can see your comment too. All right. Rant Susie says, nah, you don't like the Pylum. Dude, the Pylum is great. I do love the Corey, but the Pylum was better. Actually, I'll tell you this. Here's why the Pylum was better in my time. The Pylum was better in my time because it was an interceptor. All right. And everything was around hull breach and big damage and all this stuff. The Corey is a great ship. Don't get me wrong. I have one of those too. Corey's great. All right. But just given the damage, the Pylum with its shots, its firing pattern, the big damage, the hull breach, it was significant. It is significant. It is significant. All right. That's right. Back in my day, we had to use hull breach. Oh, what a sad day, Katya says. I scrapped my Pylum today. Sad, sad day.
I would never do that.
Too
much together.
Yeah, there's lots of fond memories. All right. So many memories.
If you don't mind, DJs, I'd like to offer perspective on the event.
Okay,
this is just my personal perspective here. There is so many parts of each refinery that we ignore.
Yeah.
Whether that means it is no longer what we're interested in, we're beyond that loop, whether it is unachievable for us, and whether it is just paid content that we don't want to engage in. Refinery, and we've gotten used to not clicking on certain things. Even if we have the currency, we'll just not click it. The thing that's different about events is that it changes every 24, 48, 72 hours. The cards change, and so you have to recalibrate what you're going to ignore and not ignore. But that's still a list. There's still a list of events I'm ignoring. I think a lot of G4 players are ignoring the daily events, the mini dailies, right? So what makes a pay-only event different in this regard?
Yeah, that's a fair perspective. I mean, and you know what? I agree with it because there's a lot of events
to the meta.
I'm sorry, what
was that, Karkin?
Is it attached to the meta? Does that?
What is the meta?
Does it record?
There is no meta. Okay, there is no meta.
Maru points accelerate. Okay, so
right, but that meta is again the premium, is the quantum, and we just discussed that quantum is basically this month's heroic. So the minute that you see quantum, you immediately know I probably won't be able to achieve all of the milestones in that because it's pay. I will achieve what I can, and I'll ignore the rest.
Matters is right. Players feel like events are that are displayed are for them, even if they're not. And by the way, I'm not necessarily saying that this is fine, ignore it, or be happy about it, all right? Because I get the sentiment. I kind of feel the same way about a lot of things. I appreciate Jules' perspective, and he's right, factually. We look at this stuff and decide what's for us and what's not. Here's one that's not for me, that you guys all make fun of me for every single month, okay? Right here, Griffin, they make fun of me every single month for not having the wherewithal to log into my event store or my web store every single day and click on the mission key for officers that I don't need.
Thanks.
I forgot. I can't do that. I've already messed it up this month. For the 10th time, I've messed it up. I will never get that right. It's not even in the game. I have to go to a web browser to come on. I'm never going to remember.
I like the fact that the event's there. It's available with extra rewards for people who want to pay that level of attention, who want to do that level of grind, not grind, but I mean, that level of mundane procedure, okay? That's fine. That level of mundane procedure, me, not for me.
But what are you doing when you do that event, though? You have to go through pages and pages of paid pack content to get to near the very bottom, this one free claim. It's the exact same thing when you go through the event tab, though.
I know.
Just another page for you to do the exact same thing. And look, the whole thing is that this company, you say this all the time, they need to make their money.
Sure.
This is a regular tactic of putting something in front of your face that says, here, spend money here. What I like, what is different than another Scopely-owned game, Monopoly Go, is that they don't pop up in the middle of your gameplay So if
Well, that's
this
true.
is where they want to flag how they're going to sell things, I'm fine with that. Don't pop up in the middle of like a wave defense saying, hey, you want to make your wave defense better? Buy this prime.
All right, that's fine, and that's fair. And I'm sure that is a reasonable and logical and appreciated perspective. I understand the player's frustration. I understand the sentiment. All right, I share it. Because I feel like, let's look at what we can actually play in today, okay? And this is where I think players are frustrated, Jules. What can I do today? Okay, I got my Battle Pass event. That's a given, all right? But still requires engagement. So I got my Battle Pass event. That's one. What else do I have? Inside the Mirror Universe tab, I have Research Event. Okay, that's 2. I'm going to give that 2 because everyone should have a few particles to be able to do that event. Okay, or at least everybody 40 plus. Anybody who's playing in the Mirror Universe should have enough particles to finish that event by doing 1 or 2 researches. That's all it requires. All right, the common particles. And by the way, we're going to talk about this tonight because I've got some cheats for you. Not cheats. Kind of cheats. And I'll be honest with you. You know what? Blue has been on the stage before, Jules. Blue has come up on the Blue has been on the stage before and be like, I don't want to tell anybody while the event's going on. I don't either because I'm currently in first place by a lot. Okay? I'm in first place. I'm in first place by a freaking lot.
DJs, that is the point of this podcast, is to
I
disseminate information.
No, that's exactly my point. I'm going to tell you at the risk of losing my first place finish here. I'm going to tell you because there are life hacks to this event, and if you have been engaging in the Mirror Universe effectively and strategically, according to the University of Jules Verne, all right, then you are going to be in great shape. No, I didn't buy the pack. I did not buy a research pack, Devon. I have not bought any research packs. As a matter of fact, on day 1, you guys saw me. I did it on screen. I bought the entry pack. I bought the entry pack so I could show you guys stuff on day 1. So I probably do have a little extra premium currency. That's it. I didn't get any extra keys that day. Now, someone else is going to say, well, your ship, DJ, your ship lets you kill so you can do bigger refines. That's probably true. That's probably true. All right. But we are going to talk a little bit about that because the refinery is in there. There's some big brain refinery stuff, which I would think is common sense knowledge, but you'd be surprised, Jules, at how many people were blown away by double dipping the refinery with the research. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Okay. We're going to point out some of the efficiency leaks, the efficiency hacks with regards to the research. But anyway, second event. So there's your second one. And that's an SMS. I'm going to help you with the solo leaderboard tonight. But that's an SMS. So there's 2. Okay. What else do we have? Quantum Temporal Artifact Hunt. That one doesn't count. Can't count. All right, here we go. Combat Master Mirror Universe. That's what we've had for the last several days. That's going in. That's kill 50 MU hostiles. All right, there's 3. Then we have another Quantum Solo Leaderboard, and that's it. So we got 3 events. And you know what? Now that I've counted that out loud, I say, you know what? I remember the days when there was 1. And that included the Battle Pass event. I remember the days when the Battle Pass event was the only one there was. So 3 events, actually not terrible. It's drowned out by quantum this, quantum that, complete this, buy that, do this, spend that, unlock this, do that, and quantum this and quantum that. Okay, I get it, Jules. I kind of get it. You're right. If only there was a way to kind of segment this a little bit better, but then it would lose its marketing power, in all fairness. But we've got 3 events today. That is relatively normal.
Plus the daily grind you have to do to feed all of these machines. It's not like we're lacking for things to do in the game.
Theoretically, there was also supposed to be a War Room event starting today, too.
There was supposed to be, which that's a whole new level of me frustrated, but as if it wasn't slow enough. That being said, we've got 3 events that we can play in today. And Griffin's right. There's other loops, there's other grinding, and other stuff. All right. That's right, Maris. Don't forget about your 20 minutes of just doing all your daily claims. All right.
Oh, that's how I start my day with my morning coffee.
All right.
Click, 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 Refinery.
So I guess what I'm saying is I see Jules' point very clearly after I dig through the noise. And I think that it's very easy for us players to take a look at this and realize there's a lot of noise here. There's a lot of noise here. But if we take a minute, dig through it, we're going to find the events that we're supposed to do, that are for us, that we are interested in, and we're going to play in those. For example, my favorite one today, the research event. Okay? I'm going to talk to you about this one. All right? As a matter of fact, let me see where we're looking on time. I might take a break and then come back and talk about this one because this is a good one. All right? And I've got stuff to share with you and think about. I'm going to stimulate your brain. That's right. I forgot about the season pass wave defense that launched today. It's although not technically, a today thing, but I get what you're saying. Peter says card swipe after card swipe after card swipe. What are you talking about with the research event? Nope, not at all. I did all this without spending a single penny. Now I have spent time, which is crazy, Jules, because I don't like to grind.
You were surprisingly really enjoying the grinding on the 24-hour stream. We went into the Mirror Universe many times. You were grinding your happy little kitty cat butt off with a smile.
I know, it's weird. I don't even know why. All it is killing hostiles.
Drumsticks.
All it is killing hostiles. But for some reason, I'm kind of digging it. I'm not bored of it yet. Let's just put it that way. I'm not done with it yet. Caden says it might have been the alcohol. Maybe. All right. Kel says it's because you have a time limit. Is that how simple it is, Kel? Just that I'm racing the clock, that I want to see how much I can get, that things like impulse and survivability and pattern, that I'm paying attention to the pattern. Like, okay, let me ask a question. Just real quick. If you have the Kirishara artifact, how many of you guys just load up 3, 4, 5, 6 hostiles and just let it fly? Or inside the MU, I'm not doing that. I'm only loading up like the next 1 or 2 at a time because I'm trying to analyze their targets. I'm trying to figure out where they're coming from and which one is going to give the least amount of impulse time in between hostiles.
Wow, you are really digging into the finite details to maximize your time there. So it is the clock for you. You do enjoy the countdown. It keeps you focused.
Is that why I have been so vocal about I think the clock is what is interesting about this feature? A lot of people say the clock is bad. A lot of people say the clock is bad. I kind of have disagreed with that since day one, not just for the strategy part of it, but also the griefer part of it. Let me ask a question. From day one to now, here we are on day 8, has the griefer aspect died down? Because I will all but guarantee that it has.
In my case, absolutely. I don't even get looked at anymore. I'm no longer concerned that people are out to get me. They're all doing their own thing. Because they're worried about their clock.
Well, they're worried about their clock, but not only that, it's just kind of flipping expensive to keep staying in there all day long.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is something that a lot of people might not have liked. But I think it's actually good for the feature.
I agree, because let's say you are a griefer, and let's say you're using your NX01 to look into a system and see who's there and how much they have. Number one, can you even see how much a player has by scanning them at this point, or does it still show you 0?
Still broken.
And then,
still shows 0.
secondarily, how long does it take you to actually get to the system where they're grinding in, and what are the odds that they're going to bounce out of there by the time you get your happy little ship out there to the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th or the 6th system? So that's why it's sort of like a little griefer protection built right in. And that, DJ, might actually be why, I mean, maybe just giving too much credit, but that might be a reason why you can't click on another player and see what their OPC is, because they're trying to anti-grief it a little bit.
Captain
That's
Taylor
possible.
says, you do realize that these are just flash events with a timer you start at your convenience, right? Yeah, I do. Captain Taylor, do you not remember the number one piece of feedback with flash events was, let us do it on our own time? Like, we want to start them, not Scopely. We still say the same thing about territory space. Like, let us start a clock. Let us organize something instead of you forcing a clock on me every single day or week. So
that's very true.
I mean, I get it that these are flash events with a timer. We start at your key words are at your convenience. Yeah, damn straight. It's at my convenience. You know? So yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like it's all right. The timers do need to be player driven, not Scopely driven.
Just like wave defense. That's what made it work.
Maybe that's why I don't hate this feature. Shiz says, but we have to figure out, do we have 20 minutes now? What do you mean? Do we have 20 minutes? Of course you have 20 minutes. Possibly. Maybe you have less. Maybe you don't have the survivability. Maybe you got to punch down. Maybe you want to punch up for loot. Maybe you need a different crew. Maybe you're being griefed. Maybe you're being chased. Maybe you got to bounce around a little bit. Who knows? There's a plethora of options.
I like that.
I kind of do too. All right. So, that being said, Ransusi says, I could sit for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, almost dead. Oh, you mean you stay in there? So wait, no one's hitting you? That's pretty fortunate. I've been hit in there twice. One of them was Wardon. So does it really count? Does it really count? No. One of them was Wardon. All right. Mara says, I actually am enjoying the Mirror Universe, and I'm excited to see how it develops. There's your key word, Maris. How it develops. Because we are on day 8. As a matter of fact, there's
Arc 1.
Arc 1. And we do know, by the way, it's not just an Arc 1. As a matter of fact, here's your key. This is the name of this particular quantum event, which tells you, by the way, you're going to get another one next month. Quantum Mirror Universe 1.
Ooh. Leaks, back, leaks.
Leaks. Okay, there's going to be another one. That's right. I forgot mining on my list. Reals party. Thank you. You could mine the Trillium. Yeah, it's fine. Listen,
in
if you
24 hours of your life, in 24 entire hours of sitting in front of a computer, how many seconds did you spend mining in this game?
Oh,
the answer is 0.
None.
0.
Probably.
You spent 0 minutes.
0 minutes.
I've mined.
Listen, I've seen some great mining screenshots from big Selkies. Selkies are mining like 4.5 million an hour, which mean, still in 20 minutes, I don't know how much you're going to get, and not very many people are going to come in and kill Selkies, so they're probably safer than a lot of other things. But 4.5 million an hour. Why? It's because of that mining laser, that ship bonus.
That's great.
That ship is just so. They really did not think that through.
They have a cargo hold problem there.
Oh, they have a cargo. They have a cargo hold problem.
Miners. Well, I was also grinding with another ship.
Wrathbond says Selkies can only hold 1 million unless you spend a lot upgrading. Well, I mean, let's say they're mining 4 million an hour. You can get 1 million in 15 minutes. So, I mean, just throwing it out there, 1 million is more than I can get grinding, and I'm spending 20 minutes grinding. So, I mean, I guess there are some benefits to people out there mining with it. Spectre says you're spending 15 minutes grinding, DJ. Warp time. Yeah, that's true. The Selkie's going to spend less time mining because they don't quite have the mining, or they still have the same warp time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. K92 says I'm pulling about 2 million a trip, but I've got a lot going on with my miner. Well, that's better than anybody's going to do grinding.
Yes,
right?
sir. It sure is.
So, interesting to note there. That being said, the Mirror Universe does offer a lot, and I can tell you there's a lot more still to come. But I feel your guys' frustration on these events. I am going to come back. I like Jules' perspective, and I'm going to maintain mine, even though I feel like Scopely kind of doubled down on it a little bit. My perspective while I am slightly irritated about the whole thing, is the exact same thing I said last month. These events are meant to reward spending. They are meant to incentivize early adoption. They are meant to separate you from the dollars that are in your wallet. Okay? So they're just offering more. If you're not a spender, who cares? Don't look at the events. Not everything is for you all the time. What I would rather talk to you about are ways that you as a free-to-play can get real good. I'll tell you why they're not going to do a heroic tab, Ransusi. It defeats the entire purpose. Why do you think these events are here? When you walk into the grocery store, what do they always have right there by the very first, like the front door?
The cookies, the carbs, the Cheez-Its.
Okay. Ransusi says, stuff I ignore. Hey, look at there. We got a winner, everybody. Where's my sound button? We got a winner. Yay, he got it. He figured it out. Yep, here's my... What's the key word right there? The stuff I ignore. Welcome to Scopely Mart, everybody. Okay? Welcome to Scopely Mart. The stuff that is right in front of your face. The stuff that they're advertising. The stuff that they want to sell. The big markup items. The brand spanking new, fresh, amazing, new, special, limited edition Lucky Charms. They're right there. By the way, those Lucky Charms are like triple the price of a normal box. But they're special! They're right there by the door. Okay? That's right. They're wanting you to buy the stuff that you see. So why is a heroic tab never going to come? Because that would remove it from your line of sight. Okay? Quality says, thing is, it takes seconds to walk by, but every 10 minutes they're here when I look in events. Well, then don't look in events every 10 minutes. You only had 3 of them. All right. You only had 3 of them.
There's very little to memorize.
That's
there.
right. You don't have to remember a whole lot. Okay? Why are you looking in your events tab every 10 minutes? That's a different problem we could talk about later.
This is random OCD clicking that we all do in this game.
All right. Yeah. You know, we complain about clicks, but we do a whole lot of wasteful clicks while we're fighting about clicks.
The pip puts us in there. We see the pip, we got to go click on it, and there they are.
Some events take checking scores, and I get it. Those are usually solo leaderboards. Usually. I mean, maybe I'm different. Do you guys not kind of figure out what you have to do in a solo milestone and then just go do it? Like, okay, this was going to take me 40 hostiles, or this was going to take me 16,000 temporal disruptors, or this was going to take this, that. You guys don't do that? You just
just keep doing it until I don't get the notification on the top that says I'm still scoring in it. Then I know I did it.
Okay, got it. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk all about the research event, and I'm going to give you some life hacks on this research event, okay? Why it's good, why or how you can play it better, and the lifespan on these these particles, the dust, if you will. We're going to talk all about that and more coming up on the other side of this break. My name is Ultimate DJz, and this is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. We'll return right after these words from our fine sponsors.
Scotty, we'll need everything you have. Warp speed. Aye.
Commanders, that sound can mean only one thing, and it's that we are hyping up Star Trek The Cruise 8. Why, might you ask, are we hyping this up? Because we are bringing you with us. That's right, Talking Trek presents Star Trek The Cruise 8 Sweepstakes, where you've got a chance for you and a friend to join us on the boat. Support the channel however you would like, through Patreon, through Twitch, and even by sending simple postcards. The official rules are available on our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com, also on our Discord, and in our Twitch chat. Hurry and get your entries into the contest right now. There are no limits and no purchase is necessary. You want to go cruising with myself, Griffin, Wardod, and so many more? Then enter now for your chance to win for you and a friend to cruise Royal Caribbean for Star Trek The Cruise 8, where we will be celebrating 30 years of Voyager. That's right, it's the 30th anniversary. Find the official rules and get entered today. This portion of the show brought to you by crazybunch.org. Are you old like Bubba Joe and get tired playing video games? Surtail has a solution for your health and wellness needs, especially while gaming. You could try an energy gummy for those long incursion events, or just to keep yourself conscious while you're doing all that mining. Surtail is an independent distributor of all aerial products you'll need to improve your gaming experience. Message Surtail on Discord or visit crazybunch.org for more information. Yo, what's up, Commanders? Great news about PvPtarget.com. You've known for a while that it exists and has some great reference tools regarding PvP banding and common crew loadouts, but they've recently launched brand new tools on the site, including a brand new cargo calculator page as well. This isn't your typical max cargo style calculator, but a brand new, unique tool that identifies the timer until you go over cargo. The game timer might tell you how long to zero the node, but how long until your miner is at risk? You can find out now by using the brand spanking new cargo calculator at PvPtarget.com. Today's show brought to you in part by the Musgrove Trial Firm in Georgia. Have you suffered personal injury in Georgia? You need a buddy. Give Buddy at the Musgrove Trial Firm a call, 678-226-1994. Visit them online at musgrovetrialfirm.com.
She was dressed to kill, I was in my booth. So I had to pick for the uptown top. Yeah, but we talked for a while in a corner booth. Before closing time, she caught me by surprise. She said, give me a dirt road, the windows down. You wanna get lost on the edge of town in a Chevrolet. She said, give me a six-pack, some Brooks and Dunn. If you want a country girl, you just found one. Let's slip away. Yeah, in a Chevrolet.
Evening, everybody. Welcome back into the show. My name is Ultimate DJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Appreciate that so very, very much, and appreciate you guys all being here. Good evening, Griffin. Welcome into the show. How you doing, man? Listen, I see people in the chat. They're getting fussy at me. They're like, DJz, enough with the blah, blah, blah. Talk to us about research particles. Okay, fine.
What else is new?
Okay, fine. I'll talk to you about the research particles then.
I can't wait. I have been saving. I have a piggy bank full of this particle dust. I've been waiting all day to pop on the webcam and just click and spin away as you're talking.
Yeah, I've already done mine. Okay. First, I want to talk to you about the importance of each of these versions of currency. Jules is here. Jules, welcome into the stage. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for taking the time. There's a couple of things we're going to look at tonight. So if you haven't synced up your Spox Club, I'm going to recommend that you do that, okay? Because we're going to be looking at Spox Club a little bit tonight. We're also going to be looking at the amazing Jules and Blue masterpiece, which is the Mirror Universe Google Sheet. Okay, we're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight as well.
So colorful.
It is very, very nice. And then we're going to talk about the secret to this event, which, crazy enough, is not damaging long-term. Jules, I'm going to start with you first, okay? We've got different currencies. We've got the common, we got the uncommon, we got the rare and epic premium, and premium mirror dust, okay? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the mirror dust. We're talking about the stuff that we are using on the researches that are inside the mirror tree. Now, we can see in the beginning that we got the common stuff. Then we talked about this even in the Arcfall video, that we've got the uncommon stuff. Then there's the rare stuff, okay? Then we see epic stuff. Then we see premium stuff. Lots of stuff. Blue also noted in the very beginning, and this is a spender's item, okay? Don't get freaked out, but it earned the praise of Blue and Jules because of its long-term value, which was the prime mirror research efficiency, okay? Jules, I would like to start with the total accumulations of the mirror dust needed. When we're talking about the lifespan of this, how much are we talking? What do we need in order to progress through this research tree?
Well, millions, but one of the things that I actually like about this research tree is that it actually has very few ops prereq levels. And it is based on operations. It's not based on research and development. It's not based on anything else. It's just pure operations. So there's clearly these bands. There's the G4 band, the G5 band, and then the G6 band of researches. So really for you as a player, how long do you expect to be within these bands? Like if you're G4 now, you're like G6 is years away. I'm not going to worry about the G6 research. Then you're really only looking about like what's going to cost in total to finish out G4, maybe even the G5 research when I get there. And I'm going to throw this in to our lab or into the circle. So this is just a quick screenshot. It's not. It's taking forever to load.
Which one? Is it the
Upload
days?
failed.
Is it the days to complete? The one that you sent me like 20 minutes ago?
We could look at that one too. Yeah, because it's got total research on there as well.
So here, I'll pop this into the graphics room. Okay. And what we are looking. Well, mine's failing too. Must be Discord.
It is
Oh, boy.
Discord.
Discord's
global outage.
pooping itself, and I know all about that. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you sure do. Repetitive pooping, flatulence.
All right, so Discord's having a freak out moment, so we will grab this as soon as we are able, and put it into the graphics room. However, those of you in the live audience right now may be able to still grab this image or take a look at your screen if you can. But I'm gonna, you know what? We'll do this in true podcast form. I'll read this to you as we go. What we are looking out, okay, is the days to complete research. Now, there's 4 different currencies that we're focused on here: common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And as Jules was mentioning, each of these currencies kind of has a band. Now, Balabom says, so as a G6 player, I got to do it all now. Yeah, that's kind of a thing. All right. But I mean, maybe not really.
Well, you don't have to do it all, but I mean, we'll kind of dive into the research tree in a second. But basically, yeah, what you're saying is that these are the total research costs that your band has unlocked.
Okay, so if we're looking at G4, Ops 40, and that's requiring Ops 40, and I presume you mean all the way 40 through 50, right? All the researches that you can do anywhere between Ops 40 and Ops 50 is what we're going to consider grade 4, right? So if we look at all those different researches that we are looking at a total, and these are raw costs. We're going to start with the raw cost. 340,000 common dust, 81,000 uncommon dust, 30,000 roughly rare dust, and 25,000 epic dust. All right. I want to focus in on the common dust piece for a second. 340,000. Holy smokes. Okay. Now,
That's a lot.
I also want to, by the same token, all right, do this side-by-side comparison. And by the way, the graphics room is working now, so we're going to rely on that as quickly or as much as we can over the next little bit. There's this side-by-side graphic as well, which is the amount of currency that is going to be needed with the Prime. Now, please don't misunderstand. I'm not going to come in here and promote the Prime, but of all the stuff that there is to spend on this month that I am grumpy with, this one is not one of them. This one actually feels pretty good. We can save over 60,000 common mirror dust. Now, real quick, how many are you guys getting in a daily refine? We can know that, by the way. Let's take a look at the refinery chart. It's in the same Google sheet. What's your level of research on the refinery? Is it level 4? Is it level 2? Is it level 7? Okay. Jules, just out of curiosity, what's your ops again? Remind the good people.
58.
58. You whale. How far did you take your
Dolphin.
refinery? What level is your refinery right now?
Level 8.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yours is level 8 refinery, which means your research, by the way, is 7. Correct?
Correct. Yep. So I'm maxed for my ops.
Guess what? Me too. Why might that be? Why might that be?
Because it provides the most efficient outcome for the actual raw cost.
We're getting more stuff, right? We're getting more stuff. And the stuff is important. Let's talk about the stuff. Let's see. Hey, you know what? I see this in the chat right now. Carissa says, I took mine from level 4 to level 8 today. That is brilliant. Makes me want to kiss you. Okay? Because look at what you did. You were getting 350 common dust on a single pull, by the way. And now you're getting 1,100 on a single pull. Now, you can do double pulls, which means you went from 700 to 2,200. And that, by the way, is without the lucky pull. The lucky pull will double that. Now, Grand Susie says, good luck with the D. Fortunately for me, I'm in good shape with my D. We're going to talk about the lifespan of this here in a minute. Do I want to suppose why certain players are in real good shape? Divine says, good luck doing double pulls. Nah, I'm good. I can do it. At least I can. Right now, I'm set. Even on the liquid D.
Wow.
Or the double D, the trail
The raw
D.
D.
Raw D.
The raw D.
The raw D.
Oh, Lord, here we go again. First there's fortification, and now there's the raw D. Come on.
All right. It can be done. If you have leveled this refinery to an appropriate place for your capabilities. And we spent a lot of time actually talking about this on Saturday.
Well, yes, but I do want to say, just right off the bat, if you are a G5 player and you can't double pull the level 5 through 8, which is the G5 range of refineries, still go there and single pull, because you'll still get more from single pulling a level 8 refinery than you will double pulling a level 4. So it just makes sense to go up even if you cannot do the double pulls, you'll still get more payout of both liquid D and of the dust.
That's absolutely true. Let's take a look. Let's actually, Riverwind says no way for the double pull. That's okay. Follow my example. Riverwind, let's say that you're level 4 on your refinery. A single pull is 5,100 raw D. 20,000 or 19,500 on a double pull. Out of each of those pulls, you're going to get 300 liquid D, guaranteed, right? 300. So if I single pull, I get 300. If I double pull, I get 600. Now, you know what Mr. Tiger did with this refinery? You know why this refinery actually gets mostly thumbs up for me? It's really well thought out. The math holds. There is reward for progression, because what happens if I do a double pull at level 4 and I get 600 liquid D, if I go to level 5 and I cannot do a double pull anymore, how much does a single pull get me?
650.
650. Which means a single pull is still better than a double pull of the round before it. Isn't that wild? By the way, that doesn't exist for every level. That's just on the generational breaks. But I might point out, if you can do 42,000 in raw D, you can probably do 50,000 in raw D. Right? I mean, after all, you're talking the difference of 2, maybe 3 hostiles. That's it. The difference between 42,000 and 50,000 is a handful of hostiles, maybe 5 or 6. Does that matter on a singular run? Maybe. Carissa says it costs twice as much, though, but here's the idea. Yes, but that means you're also hitting larger hostiles, because also, if we take a look at the hostiles, all right, the hostiles themselves also ramp up significantly in what they drop. Take a look at the 47 uncommon, which is going to drop 50 raw D. Okay? The 48s drop 50 raw D. If you go to the
Yeah, so there's going to be a problem for a lot of people. They have to jump up a little bit. The 50s don't drop that much more. They'd have to jump up
the
to
50 only drops 65.
There is still a big break here. And I'm sort of holding out hope for a lot of people that some of these gaps will get filled in future iterations.
Yeah, there's no mid-5 system there. I see what you're talking about because you go from 50.
There's also no mid-6. There's 50 to 58, and then there's 60 to 68. So there's these giant jumps for some players. But this is also where the mining strategy may actually make sense depending on what type of player you are. So for instance, if you are a G5 player, but you have a high tier G4 miner, well, you may actually have a strong enough mining laser and take up that mining research all the way up. You could actually reach and achieve your D goals there instead of having to hit the hostiles.
Now I want to come back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and that's good points. And there's a weakness here. I don't necessarily disagree. 50 is a G4 hostile, 58 is a G5, but that's still a big break. Matters there could be a 53 or 54 in there to let somebody park in the middle. That being said, that is also why this refinery is probably written in the way it is, in that there is rewards and breaks between single and double refines. You don't have to feel punished going from level 4 to level 5 because you're still getting more even on a single pull. Now, that's not to say that is all that I'm focused on here. I am also focused on the mirror dust, which means then we're going to come into the refinery and we're going to come and pull our chest, our A chest and our D chest. And by the way, what I'm really focused on out of here is indeed the refined Liquid D, because then I'm going to come down into the Liquid D store. And I mentioned this the other day. There are only two things that I believe most players should be focused on right now. Early in this arc, early in this loop, there's only two bundles you should be pulling. One is for mirror dust. The second is for rift keys. That's it. Don't worry about the forbidden tech. Don't worry about the officers. Don't worry about the resources. Those are the end game. Those are the overflow mechanics. Right now, what we're looking for are the things that are going to propel us through this loop. That's going to be dust and keys. Okay? What I want to specifically focus on tonight is the dust. If we are, let's say, an ops, give me an ops, 45, 48. Where do you want to go? 45? 48? 50? 55. What do you want? Throw it out in the chat. All right, let's go 48, Caledon. Thank you. Ops 48. When we do a single chest of the Liquid D refinery, we are going to pull anywhere between 100 and 1,000 common dust. Per pull, by the way. Don't know if you can do singles or doubles, but per pull. Okay? We're also looking at anywhere between 60 and 600 uncommon, 36 and 360 rare, and 26 and 230 epic. Now, I'm not that worried about epic, rare, or even uncommon today because I want to take you back to your tree. Let's go back into the tree. How many columns of nodes do we have? Silvertab says, think of the little people. Okay, fine. Even 41. You're getting all of these. You're earning every rarity. Common, uncommon, rare, and epic. Now, let me just ask. When have you ever earned epic currency on day one of the new feature? Day one of your new ops? Day one of your new refinery? Ever? No. Never. However, it is wildly important. And I'm going to explain why right now. The amount of epic and rare and even uncommon that you get is freaking awesome. Because you know what it's doing for you? This is going to sound crazy. It's going to feed your common refinery. Let's go back real quick. How many common particles are required as compared to uncommon, rare, and epic? Literally a factor of 400% more. And that's with the prime. Okay? 340,000 common particles are needed to complete the tree, and that's for G4. Guess what, G5? You need 827,000. And G6, holy crap, 1.5 million. Shiz says, so trade down? You bet your ass. Common is what's needed right now. Go back to your tree. How many columns of research are needed before you even touch an uncommon node?
You actually have to do all of the common ones, level 1, before you can touch an uncommon.
That's daggone right.
At least level 1.
And I might point out that some of the better researches in the tree exist within common dust. I love what Mr. Tiger did with this research tree, by the way. I don't agree with every single research in here. Okay? No, don't trade the premium, Guru. No. Well, there's not a premium dust trade down, I don't think, is there? I don't think there's a premium dust trade down.
Oh,
There
no,
is?
premium, no.
There is not.
Premium, no.
There is not a premium dust trade down. You've got a premium key trade down, but not premium dust. Okay? You've only got epic to rare, then rare to uncommon, then uncommon to common. Okay? This is what you got. I'll actually put a picture of the refinery in the graphics room. These are the only 3 trade downs you got. Okay? When it comes to dust. And we know that we need gargantuanly more amounts. Plus, not only that, but we're going to be earning, I know, Vic, what kind of crazy upside down universe is this? A Mr. Tiger universe. That's right, Swimbot. You're with me. I'd vote trade down until all uncommon nodes are uncovered. You know what? This is what I love about this tree, and I think Mr. Tiger did it on purpose. At least I have faith that he did. Okay? This tree is actually super valuable right up front. First of all, you got the mirror refinery advancement. We've talked about that one. That's very important, right, Jules? Super duper important. What's next? What is next on the level of importance? In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. Common mirror hostile loot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
My favorite.
Loot, because even Mr. Tiger said that when this research is maxed out, you are going to earn just as much from hostiles as you're going to get from the chests. And by the way, we proved that.
Experience.
That's right.
Sure
We
did.
proved that Saturday on the Whale Cam. Saturday, during our 24-hour Twitch extravaganza, we tunneled Griffin's game through our viewers. All right, you guys got to watch Griffin play, not just me, but Griffin. And he was actually getting more. K92 says, I'm filling my cargo in 4 minutes, but I do keep grinding for the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
K9, God, I don't even know if I want to ask this. How much cargo can you fill in 4 minutes? Like, how much cargo are you taking home? Million? 500,000? 200,000? What's it going to be? 2.4 million. Now, granted, he's a level 70 player. All right, he's a level 70 player, but he's already at the other end of the spectrum. He is showing you what you have to look forward to. Okay? Remick says, I'm getting 1 million with my cube. You got it. Loot is the next one.
You know what's great about the loot one?
What's
what do
that?
you think the ops requirement for the max level is?
I don't know, Jules. Why don't you tell me?
40.
What?
You can max that research all the way to 400% loot bonus at ops 40.
What a
Thank you.
deal.
Thank you, Mr. Tiger. Okay? What I'm saying is, Divine, that you need to take advantage of some of the better researches that are here up front. Do I give a damn about uncommon interceptor apex barrier versus players? I mean, I might later, okay? But not really, not super much with these research values being what they are. Probably not.
Well, let me give you a little peek into the future there. Because once you do graduate out of the common and get into uncommon, and especially rare, like for example, now I'm working on the rare positive FKR reputation DJ. Many of these commons must be brought to tier 5 before you can advance into the rare town. So it's not like you're wasting the resources by upgrading your commons, because you're going to need to anyway once you start working on the uncommon and particularly the rare.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. As a matter of fact, I think there are a couple that are really important. Retrieving says, by trading down, aren't we just setting ourselves up to having millions of common and no uncommon or rare? I mean,
no.
Well,
no.
Way down the road, yes. Sure, retrieving. But we're also getting the research done now. And by the way, not no uncommon or rare, because even the uncommon and rare researches, some of them have double dependencies and need common.
Yep.
Not only that, but we're still continuing to earn uncommon and rare and epic every single day. You're going to get the dust faster as you continue to level up and as you progress through this tree and through this feature. Dragon Keeper says trading down is bad. I disagree. It always has been. It always has been. I agree. But in this particular case, it's not. Because I need so daggone much. Even with the prime.
So much now. It's not just so much now, because that is true. It is also, you need so much for the rest of the time that this current iteration of the research tree exists. If we go back and look in the graphics room and take a look at the days to complete research, you'll notice that the uncommon, it's going to be a lot faster for you to get through that uncommon than it will to get through the common. Now, let's say you cannot double pull your D refinery and these numbers are slightly lower for your income, slightly lower. This is a factor of 2.5 times the amount of time it's going to take you to finish your common out. So if you've got uncommon now and you don't have a place to spend it during this event, it is not inefficient to trade it down for common and use that today.
You got it. Let's take a look again in the graphics room. Specifically, what he's looking at is the screenshot that says days to complete research. If we were doing this without the prime, okay, common, I need 343 days worth of pulls to do all the common. By the way, this is for G4. This is just G4. But only 138 days worth of pulls to feed the uncommon researches, which means I have literally 200 days worth of spare uncommon materials. Those uncommon materials can be traded down. I'm going to have 220 days of spare rare materials. I'll be able to trade that down. I'm going to have 120 days of spare epic materials that can be traded down. So, for this particular event, which is where this kind of all draws back to, I traded everything. Because I'm only a handful of days in. I still have hundreds of days to spare in overflow of my uncommon, rare, and epic materials. So,
well, what do you mean everything?
I took my epics, traded them to rare. Then I took all my rares, traded them to uncommon. Then I took all of my uncommon and traded them all to common, and then spent every single one. By the way, are there cooldowns on the trade downs? No.
Nope.
No. I love it.
And sliders.
There are not. I want you guys to look. Yeah, and there's sliders. And it works so quick and great and deliciously. I want to point out right now in the graphics room, here are the currencies that I'm holding. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but you guys tell me if you have more or less than what I am holding right now. I have 46 epic dust, 67 rare dust, and 10 uncommon dust.
Okay. How much common dust do you have?
Oh, common dust? I probably also don't have any of that because I blew it all on the research event.
Okay, disclaimer, Griffin. We probably need to put a disclaimer on this video. or in this pod, that DJ likes to spend recklessly. So
Whoa. Hang
this
on a
is
second.
true. These are factual statements.
That's a factual statement. However, let me ask real quick before you say that this is not the right way to do it.
Oh, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say plan, and I want to show people a tool.
That's fair. That's good. Before we do, and this is where we're gonna spool up Spock's Club, so you guys get that ready. But with all of the materials that I traded down today, every single one of them, I still didn't have enough common to go through and finish the entire first part of the tree. But you know what I was able to do?
You were able to max out that hostile loot, weren't you?
Yep, and I took my station resource efficiency all the way to level 8, which is 80%. That's basically like having a permanent exocomp now. All right. And I took Mirror Refinery all the way to level 7, which means I have the level 8 refinery now.
That's amazing. You probably maxed your mining too, didn't you?
No. No. Don't worry about that. Canine Tooth says, oh, crap. No, Canine. He says, oh, my gosh, I think you're beating my score. He's a level 70. But no, alas, I am not. And I'm probably not going to be beating a lot of people's score after this content goes out, because this is what you do in the early levels. I've only got 635,000 points, by the way. All right.
That's very respectable. I wonder what I have.
This is how you jumpstart yourself in this loop. And by the way, for everybody out there who's saying you're going to struggle with the raw D, that may be possible. But I'm going to struggle far less now that I've got a 400% loot bonus on my ship. Yeah? Would you struggle less with a 400% loot bonus before officers?
It is game changing. If you're wanting to double pull and you don't think you'll ever be able to, this is how you get double pulls done. You've got to max that research now.
I agree.
Don't wait. Don't wait. Get it done.
Now, here is a great planning tool. We're going to move beyond this event right now. We're going to move beyond this event to how do you balance this? Because if we're looking at the fact that it's going to take me 340 days worth of common research or common mirror dust as compared to 138 uncommon or 128 rare or 220 epic, how do I know what I need when? Jules, why don't you walk me through it?
Well, yes. So first, what we should probably do is say we select a goal research. So looking either farther down the tree, into the uncommon, into the rare, even into the epic, which research node do you want to get to as quickly as possible?
Okay.
Do you want to get like...
I'll throw one out. I'll throw one out for teaching purposes. I want to get to mirror space warp path efficiency. That's right. Divine says the same thing. Key efficiency. I need the keys to cost less so I can get through and do more.
You guys know that only affects common, right?
What?
It says increase base cost efficiency on common rift keys when traveling in mirror space. Don't believe that it affects uncommon unless somebody has it and tested it. Okay, so we'll move on that. We'll move past that one. We all know that cover art is typically the thing that's wrong. See Gord Eviscerator research. Yep. So it has been tested, only affects comments. So forget about that one. Let's move on. What's the next one up?
Okay, what about epic ship resource efficiency? That looks good.
There you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you're going to take epic ship resource efficiency, take that title, hop on over to Spox.club, and go to the requirement tab. Now, this requirements calculator, this is really useful for calculating all either whether it's a research or building, and it calculates all the prerequisites and the costs associated to get all of those prerequisites to their level. So go ahead and type in your epic ship resource efficiency into there.
Cool.
Then you select, obviously, it's going to pull up your current starting level, and you can select a target level. And it's going to calculate. It'll take a little bit of time because it has to go through all of the research trees to make sure that there was no other prerequisites. And it's going to give you a list of all of the resources, the mirror dust, of each rarity and how much you're going to need to get there.
We're almost there. Almost. Spock's Club is thinking.
Well, we're also all doing it at the same time, so it's got to think real hard.
Okay. Also, Mimi says don't put in levels 9 or 10. They need ops 61, so let's just go level 8. That might help. All right. Everyone hitting this at once is going to kill Spock's Club. Sorry! Jude! I'm so sorry, Jude! Sorry, Jude.
50 multiphasics at the same time. Make a ham sandwich, come back. It'll be ready.
Hey, there we go. All right. Epic ship resource efficiency. I'm going to drop to a lower level because it's still making me go up in ops. So let's just go to level 5. Okay? Let's just go to level 5 here.
Yeah. I think for me, I went just to level 1 being like, hey, I just want to get there first. Like, I want to get there today. And I want to see what it's going to cost for me to get basically through the tree to get to that point for dealing with going higher. But once this loads up, what you'll see is you'll have your epic, your rare, your common, and your uncommon costs.
Boom.
And and here's the thing, though, the needed column where it tells you, I don't know what just happened to your screen.
I don't know what
the
just happened
needed
either.
column.
I think we just lower down.
Is it calculating your ops?
Yeah, it's calculating ops too. I need to level up my ops. All right, let's just let's just look at level 2. Look at level 2.
So you can see here that it shows you how much you need of each of the mirror dusts. And it's a very easy calculation to say, okay, well, I need to keep this much epic so I can trade down anything above that needed amount down to rare in order to cover the cost of that rare. I need to keep this much rare. I can trade down to uncommon. I need this much uncommon. I can trade the rest down to common in order to afford for me to get to this spot. Even if you can't get there with what you have in your stock now, you can start that beginning of that process. So unlike DJz, who traded everything down to common,
sure as
you
hell
may
did.
say, okay, I know I need to reserve this much uncommon, or know I need to reserve this much rare and uncommon and common. So you wouldn't trade everything down, but you can do a big amount of the trading now. Because also one of the benefits of this research tree is there's just 10 seconds to finish any research.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're sitting there waiting for helps. It's not like you're worried about blowing through Latinum to speed through these things. This is something that you can just pound through really quickly.
Now,
I love that.
What I want to point out also here is that even though Jules is making fun of me for recklessly spending, I want to point out these costs, and I'm going to put them in the graphics room. Okay? For example, this says uncommon mirror dust is only going to cost me $6,190. Okay? $6,190 is all I needed in uncommon mirror dust. I want to come back to the refinery now. Okay? Let's come back to the refinery. My refinery at level 8 is going to grant me anywhere between 100 and 700 a day per pull. Okay? So let's just take an average and say that the average is going to be what, Jules? 250? Because each of them have a 30% chance, right? The small is 60, the medium is 30, and the large is 6%. So what do you think the average is there? Roughly 150? Is that fair to say? Is the average for a single pull?
I like 200.
149.
I don't know. It might even be 200.
There's a chart. If you're there, scroll to the right. This is in the black background area.
Here we go.
Keep going. There's a lot of extra things in here, but you can see ops 56, 59, 149.
So here,
dust.
I'll actually put, this is a great little reference guide. I'm going to put this in the graphics room as well. This is basically, by the way, completely mathematical. All right. Some days are going to be more. Some days are going to be less. Some days are going to be gargantuanly more. All right. Now, That's
Before you move
149.
on.
Yes.
Before we move on, in the podcast, this is the mirror dust exchange graph, and the timestamp is 10:21 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.
You're very good at that. Thank you. Now, this says that the average is 149 per pull. That's 300 per day. Okay. Now, some of you guys have been doing your infamous Refinery big brain double pull, right? How many of you guys did that? Let's remind everybody. If you're going in and you're going to research the mirror Refinery advancement research, what should you be doing every single time? It's going to reset your Refinery, guys.
Ooh, I know.
It's going to reset
You're
your
supposed
Refinery.
to go back into that Refinery and re-click your Refinery every level. And let me tell you, that really helps you keep that machine fed.
Oh, yeah, it does.
If you didn't do that, boy, you really missed out. And if you haven't done it yet, don't forget.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, don't freak out if you can't do them all at once, because you know what? You want to feed that Refinery and take advantage of the cooldowns. The Trillium D Refinery has a 70-hour cooldown on it, basically 3 days. Do I want to reset that Refinery 1 day in or even 2 days in? No. Take advantage of the full time. I actually today just now finished level 7 of my research because my Trillium D Refinery reset today. And I didn't have enough stuff to do it before. Now, I'm going to also throw you out something that is crazy big brain. Don't ask me how I did it, Jules. I'm sure that you could probably math out how I did it. But between all of the Refinery pulls, and I doubled everything, and then I double pulled everything. And by the way, no, Paulo, I did not spend on the research pack. I did not. You guys saw the only pack I spent, which was on entry vouchers. And then Scopely's been flooding us with those. So probably didn't need to do that, except I wanted to show it off that first night. But I bought no research. Would you believe that I actually had in my possession today all 6,000 uncommon mirror dust that I would have needed? Does anybody believe that?
I do believe that.
Why do you believe that, Jules?
Because resetting your Refinery, doing it daily, getting a couple good big pulls from the D Refinery, yeah, you can get a lot of uncommon pretty quick.
I had all 6,000 immediately. You know what I didn't have?
Common.
24,000 common. Well, I actually did have 24,000 common, but I spent it all on the stuff that was more important to me. Now to the point where I only have 1,300 left. Okay, I did have 20,000 common, but I spent it all on loot and station resources and a little bit of ship repair efficiency, which was probably silly, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because trite's a thing now, all of a sudden, apparently. Saturday, I learned that trite was a thing. For the first time ever in my entire STFC career, I ran out of trite and tokens. Tokens, too. I was completely broke.
That's because you get raided all the time.
Yeah, I know. I've been throwing shields since then, though. Look, I'm back up to 1 trillion trite. But I have nothing in tokens. All right? Trite's a thing for me now. I know. I hear shielding helps with resources. Yeah, you might be right about that. Bottom line is, this research tree is actually stacked up in the front very, very nicely. And the fact that common mirror dust is the most important one right now is actually so beautiful about this tree. I don't even care about the quantities of common that are needed because common supplies most of the research in this tree. The uncommon and the rare are not going to be nearly as hard to get in quantity comparison as the common. And I have a trade down mechanic on the common. The trade down mechanic is natively and naturally, Jules, going to drastically shorten these timers. Coming back into the graphics room and scrolling back up to the conversation where it started. Days to complete research. Every single time you trade down, you are shortening that life cycle from 343 days. Every time you trade down, this thing gets shorter. As a matter of fact, G4 players, if you were able to double pull your refineries, and I assume, Jules, that you are using the average pulls. Is that what you're doing here? Is that how the 120 rare came up, is based on an average?
Yes.
Okay. So based on the average and based on you doing max pulls, would you believe, G4, that it is mathematically possible, although you'd have to have a little bit of luck on your side, but it's mathematically possible to completely max this tree in 120 days? For your grade, that is, for G4. Isn't that crazy? Because
be exactly 120 days, it'd be a little bit greater than that because
little bit.
you still need to get through the common.
Yeah, well, but that's my point. Any excess in the rare, so yeah, it would be a little bit more than 120 days, but not anywhere near the 340 because the rare is going to be the fastest to get. Once you get it, you could start taking the excess and trading it down, followed by the uncommon. They only take 120 and 138 days. Okay? And no, Stealth Monkey, I am not looking at it with the prime. I am looking at it without the prime. 343 days. It is in the graphics room. Common, 340,000. 992 level 4 income, 343 days. None of these are prime numbers. 343 days, 138 on uncommon, 128 on rare, 220 on epic. Everything I've given you has been without the prime. Is the prime worth getting? I think so.
I just want to also put a frame of reference of any other research tree that was launched and the timeline to finish those research trees on day one was.
Years.
Remember Export Tree?
Years.
Yeah. I mean, it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of days. This, even if you are not double pulling, even if you just ignore the raw D refinery entirely, you're still going to do this research tree faster than any research tree that has been released.
Let's talk about G5. G5, crazy. The math actually gets better.
What? No, this is a Scopely game.
Yeah, I know. They're rewarding your progression. You remember how I said it would take you 343 days, G4, to max out all of your research in common particles? Well, guess what, G5? If you have a level 8 refinery, that actually drops to 265 days. And that by the way, is without trade downs. That's without trade downs. The uncommon required is only 103 days. So I've got 162 days worth of surplus of the uncommon that I can use to shorten the common timeline. I've got 141 days of rare surplus that I can use to shorten the common time frame. Ransusi says level 8 refinery, so you mean Ops 56? Nope, I mean Ops 51. Now, granted, it would be very challenging for an Ops 51 to do this with a level 8 refinery, but I remind you, a level 8 refinery is not that much different than a level 5 refinery. Okay? We're talking about breaking from level 4 to level 5. Now, Jonathan Ingram says this assumes you don't want to tier any mirror officers. No, that's actually not true. Because I can double pull my Liquid D refinery and still have Liquid D left over.
Unless you're G4.
Unless you're G4.
G4 is, I mean, this is the thing that I keep getting reminded by what, I don't know exactly the words that Tiger used, but he kind of designed this content for G5 up and was giving early access, early availability to G4.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
There is a lot of the Liquid D store that is just shut off, unavailable to G4, and that sucks. But it's better than not having it all.
No, GP factor, level 8 only requires Ops 51, not 61. Let me rephrase. Let me be very careful here. Research level 8 does require Ops 61, but research level 8 actually means refinery level 9. You got to remember, without any research, you have refinery level 1. So with research level 7, you actually have refinery level 8. It's a little bit tricky, but with no research, you have level 1 of the refinery already. Okay? So level 7 research is available to Ops 51 plus, which is refinery level 8. To get to research level 8, that does require Ops 61, but that would be refinery level 9. Okay?
It is kind of annoying.
A little bit.
I do sort of wish they just had refinery level 0 so that the numbers would match. I don't know. It's just really confusing to communicate.
So now when I kind of circle back and I talk about trading down with the research event, okay? Yes, you do get more points for spending uncommon, rare, and epic. However, most of us aren't that deep into the tree yet. So it comes down to spending a quantity of common more than your competitors. That's why I've got 3 times the score in my leaderboard. And why you can too, especially if you've been holding for a research event. And when I say holding, I spent on my refinery. That was really the only thing I did. I've been waiting on the rest of it. Okay?
So that would be DJ's recklessly spending tip. My tip is to choose a goal that may be far away and do the level 1 researches to get there, because then you're actually are spending your uncommon, potentially your rares on researches now, getting that boost in point value.
Oh, that's such a long-term frame of mind. And that's fine.
Ridiculous.
I know, it's crazy. The mathematician wants to plan. But again, I do point out that there is good research that's worthy of maxing early. The mirror hostile loot, I don't care who you are, Ops 40 to Ops 70, that should be one that you max. Period. Okay? The ship repair efficiency, that's probably less important. All right, but the mirror hostile loot, that needs to be done.
Or if you fit in a particular bracket, it could be the mining. For instance, if you're a G6 player, mining is probably your best option. If you're a low G5 and you're struggling with your hostiles, you're not able to hit the 58s, then you potentially any of a strong miner, then mining option is going to be good for you. In fact, like I do see where having a high tiered miner for your generation makes a lot of sense. That mining is a better option because of how this research is applied. If you have a high tier, that means you have a high laser mining bonus associated with your ship. The research then applies on top of that. So having a high tier miner with a big mining laser is actually going to make that research better and better. So it makes sense. Tier 3 Nova, you're probably not going to cut it. But if you have like a max Vortivore, it may actually be better than your brand new Nova that you just have. So just take a look at your mining laser on your miner first. Whatever is your highest one is going to be the thing that you'll actually probably want to use. Probably using an impulse crew to get to that node fastest. So I know mining is not everyone's favorite, definitely not yours, but it is a strategy that works for some players who cannot achieve.
Gross. But he's absolutely right. Those are common nodes that deserve early attention. And you should be spending your common parts on them. Absolutely, your common dust. You should be. Period, hands down. Okay? And then, yes, eventually, long term, I will go through and do the level 1s to try to get to another research that I want. I don't know what that is right now because I am recklessly spending. For example, let me ask, just ballpark, let's ask a couple of things about the research nodes here, and then we're going to have to take a quick break. We can finish up when we come back. Let me ask this question. If you have parts of the multi-tier primes, let's say for ship engineering, the ship parts one, does the uncommon ship parts efficiency mean diddly squat to you? I'm just asking for a friend. Jules, feel free to tell me if I'm wrong here, but I look at this at 50%, and I'm like, well, my God, I've got 800% out of a prime. 50% ain't going to hack it, right? It's not worth it. It ain't going to touch nothing. This is a research I give no craps about. However, as a free-to-play, it could be good.
Exactly.
Mm.
Especially a free-to-play in the G4 realm where ship parts are everything.
Ah. Another thing, and I know that is a biased position, but I love it. I love it. You want to know why I love it? Because it's something that I do not need to force myself to be engaged with, but it actually helps younger free-to-play players. Okay? This one is great. Mr. Tiger designed this tree very, very well.
I agree. There's something for everybody, even if you're just getting started in the game in the 20s. Some of these, well, obviously you can't interact with this stuff, but man, as soon as you can, it really helps people in the early game, which is something that we have not seen before. It's always been made out of unobtainium. You have to be way high levels to get it, and this is not that way. It scales very well, and it's very compelling on every single level. The uncommon, the common, the rare, all the way up into the epic. And I mean, my personal favorite is what's going on in Premium Town, which we haven't even talked about yet.
You want to upset people talking about Premium Town? We can do that on the other side of the break. I personally don't want to talk about Premium right now. I think Premium is so ridiculously overpriced, and it's the whole quantum thing, and it's... I mean, dude, you got to complete at least one, maybe two quantum events, which cost hundreds of dollars just to do a single level of research. I think they've got the balance on this way wrong. All right.
The cost might not quite be there yet, but one thing about it is that it is not locked to any previous research being done first, unlike everything else. Once you have the premium currency to spend, then you can go straight up to the premium Mirrodust area, and you get to pick your first one, and you get to start unlocking what you think is the most valuable. So
I agree with Divine and Magoo on this. It's essentially a prime tree, Griffin. I mean, that's all this is. It is a prime research tree. And I don't know how I feel about it yet, to be honest with you. I mean, because I look at this, if each one of these levels of research, Griffin, represents a $100 spend, then you realize we're looking at like a $20,000 research tree here. Maybe more.
I think that that's a wildly outrageous assumption at this point, and that remains to be seen what happens with the currency going forward. I mean, think of it this way. Just a week ago, you didn't think you could buy any of this at all. And now how much can you buy for $99.99? More than one tree to do, more than one level to do.
I can do two. I can do two levels of research.
DJ?
There you go.
Two. Go ahead.
DJ?
Hey, Blue, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? I personally think the premium is the second phase of Tiger's genius.
Okay. Explain your thought process.
It is not meant for this arc. It is clearly meant as a very long-term research, as a premium goal to be working towards. Often like the the currency that has the supreme tokens or something.
Yeah.
That might have like a refit that you can get. Just like something where like he's been showering us with these, the premium tokens during this arc. But that's a long tree. And that's a long opportunity to like say like, hey, instead of buying a pack, instead of like, coming up with something to like a new pack to come up with here's just more of this currency that you can grind towards for this event. It takes less effort to come up with a whole new pack. You can just make an event on the fly.
If those events are eventually, like, I get it. Right now it's valuable. Right now it's new and shiny, and they're selling it, and that's fine. So I to a certain degree, I would agree that if this premium mirror dust becomes more readily available or grindable at some point, all right, then I'm totally fine with that. Because I will point out that the tree has significant value. Okay, the researches are substantial. So I understand why they're going to hold back on it a little bit, because these researches are valuable. They have good bonus values. But, I mean, it doesn't matter if we can't ever get to them. That being said, we are earning some premium mirror dust. So the question has come up in chat, what leg should I start on? We're going to break down. We're going to break down these two legs on the other side of the break because we do have to take a break, Griffin. And when we return, let's spend our final few moments actually talking about what leg you should start on with the very limited number of premium particles that have been issued free to play. And by the way, there are some free to play. So where do you invest them? We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. My name is Ultimate DJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. We'll return right after a word from these fine sponsors.
Scotty, we'll need everything you have. Warp speed to suit. Aye, sir.
Commanders, that sound can mean only one thing, and it's that we are hyping up Star Trek The Cruise 8. Why, might you ask, are we hyping this up? Because we are bringing you with us. That's right, Talking Trek presents Star Trek The Cruise 8 Sweepstakes, where you've got a chance for you and a friend to join us on the boat. Support the channel however you would like, through Patreon, through Twitch, and even by sending simple postcards. The official rules are available on our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com, also on our Discord, and in our Twitch chat. Hurry and get your entries into the contest right now. There are no limits and no purchase is necessary. You want to go cruising with myself, Griffin, Wardod, and so many more? Then enter now for your chance to win for you and a friend to cruise Royal Caribbean for Star Trek The Cruise 8, where we will be celebrating 30 years of Voyager. That's right, it's the 30th anniversary. Find the official rules and get entered today. Today's show brought to you in part by the Musgrove Trial Firm in Georgia. Have you suffered personal injury in Georgia? You need a buddy. Give Buddy at the Musgrove Trial Firm a call, 678-226-1994. Visit them online at musgrovetrialfirm.com. Portion of the show brought to you by crazybunch.org. Do you suffer from pixel fatigue? Well, we've got a gummy for that. Surtail has the answers for your health and wellness needs, especially when gaming. A gummy for blue light protection and eye health, an energy gummy, or how about a relaxation gummy to help you chill after Wardod kills all your miners. Surtail is an independent distributor of all the aerial products you'll need to improve your gaming experience. Message Surtail on Discord or go to crazybunch.org. Yo, what's up, Commanders? Great news about PvPtarget.com. You've known for a while that it exists and has some great reference tools regarding PvP banding and common crew loadouts, but they've recently launched brand new tools on the site, including a brand new cargo calculator page as well. This isn't your typical max cargo style calculator, but a brand new, unique tool that identifies the timer until you go over cargo. The game timer might tell you how long to zero the node, but how long until your miner is at risk? You can find out now by using the brand spanking new cargo calculator at PvPtarget.com.
To talk about was how I never needed love, never needed anyone. Damn, was I wrong? Look what you did. Now I can't sleep without you in my bed, 'cause I never met anybody like this. I know it's crazy, I'd count every kiss. There's just something about you I can't live without. If you'd ask me, I'd tell you right now.
Right there. That is a good one. Nothing compares to you. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ultimate DJz. Appreciate you guys all being here. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, all up in our country fields tonight. I appreciate you guys all being here. Q says, hope you can read my Discord DM. Well, I would be happy to, Q. Oh, God, that's long. All right, I'll circle back. Okay, I'm going to get back to you on that. All right, I'm going to circle back around to you on that.
We don't say that here. That's the trigger word.
Woo!
Thank you.
All right, listen, let's come back in. I want to talk about this research very quickly, and then there was one other thing that I know Jules wanted to touch on tonight. Something that was kind of a little bit unexpected and odd that came out in the game this month. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but. The first thing that I want to do here is finish talking about this tree. So, premium particles. Now, I know that some people, Divine says in the chat, oh, there's no way to get premium particles except at a material spend event, which is untrue. We talked at the beginning.
That's not true.
Everybody's
going to get some of this stuff.
Some. All right, not very many, but some. We talked in the beginning of the show about where players are going to get some of these. And I do mean some, not very many, but a few. Okay? So, what we are going to do here is take a look at what we can do, all right, and how the premium tree works, all right. The premium tree is separated into 3 legs, okay? I'm going to call it north, south, and middle, I guess. Let's talk about the first part of the first 2 legs, okay? I know, Dr. Juby. I started going down that path, and I'm like, damn.
No,
all right.
thank you.
Top, middle, bottom? Sure. Yeah, we could go with that, except they're not in order. Here's how you're actually going to be able to do them. Top, bottom, middle, or bottom, top, middle. Okay? Those are the only 2 options. Because guess what? Middle requires you to complete both the top and the bottom. Okay? You don't get to start on the middle track until you're done both of the previous tracks. I'm going to come back and say, hey, does anybody remember the outlaw tree from 4 years ago? Do you guys remember those silly little particles? I don't even remember what they were called. Jules, do you remember what they were called? They're down here. They were see, I've done the research, so I can't remember. There was like a particle A and a particle B and a particle C. You guys remember those? No, not stellar particles.
Well,
they were different.
Outlaw research credits.
Gamma particle.
Thank you. It was an alpha particle, a beta particle, and a gamma particle. Thank you. Mini Shamu had it in the chat. Alpha, gamma, beta. That's it. Okay? And by the way, you had to do research that required an alpha particle to start the branch. And then you couldn't start the next branch until you finished the first branch, because at the end of the first branch, it awarded a beta particle. And that beta particle is what you use to start the next tree. As a matter of fact, take a look at your outlaw research tree right now. I'm going to tell you exactly where they are. Okay? I'll tell you exactly where they are, because they're depicted by a token. Take a look at Eclipse Defenses. Eclipse Defenses. Okay? That was the beginning of the alpha leg. Eclipse Defenses, to unlock that research, required an alpha particle. Then
it was actually it was Stella Defenses or Stella Piercing. You get to spend the alpha particle on one of those 2. So you can either go the north branch or the south branch.
Stella Piercing or Stella Defense. Okay.
Yeah. That's where you see that symbol in the corner. That is the particle.
No, it's not. That's a Stella particle. That's a Stella particle, not the alpha.
No, you needed 2. Jules is right. You got one when you finished the first block. Then you got the second one once you finished one of those lines.
That's right. And before you could move on to the next leg, you needed the beta particle.
Yeah.
Each tree required 2 particles. So the Eclipse Defense, the alpha leg, required 2 alpha particles. And then the beta leg required 2 beta particles, and then you needed 2 gamma particles. This is going to be something very, very similar. Thank you, Jules Verne. There it is. The alpha particle. Okay? You can, I'll put this in the graphics room. This is going way back in time, but it required something called the alpha particle. This is the exact same way in this premium tree. Okay? If you take a look at these certain branches, you'll see that premium positive FKR reputation will begin what we call the alpha leg. Okay? You'll notice that the dependencies do not traverse top to bottom, but linearly. Whatever, laterally. Okay, fine. In a linear fashion. All the way through premium whole health. Each one having a dependency on the previous. Not requiring anything at the bottom. Okay? Then you have premium cargo increase. Which, by the way, unfortunately, as nice as it may seem, is not going to unlock either the alpha or the beta legs. That is research that you can do if you want, if you value that research, and I understand why some people might. It is a waste of premium particles. For the purposes of progression, that is, because it will not unlock either leg. Then you have premium damage versus hostiles, which, by the way, as far as I'm concerned, is the most worthless of all of the first three researches.
Yep.
However, look at the beta leg. Look at what it unlocks. Not even line 2 or row 2 or column 2 rather, but column 3, premium hostile combat hull repair. That's nice. Premium shield health. That's also nice. Premium ship materials efficiency. And unlike its predecessor earlier in the tree, this one is very valuable, as in it's just like a multi-tier prime. That one gets up to 400%.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have premium ship parts efficiency, 500%. And it continues on. The beta leg is longer than the alpha leg because it also has station material efficiency, Sigma efficiency, and G6 repair efficiency, which is also Sigma Trite efficiency. The beta leg is far and away the more valuable of the two legs. So, are you going to play this for today's benefit, or are you going to play it for down the road benefit? Because we're going to have a real hard time getting these particles, in my opinion. K92 says it's just a few months too late. I don't know about all that. I mean, maybe too late for you, but not for the other 99.98% of the game. Okay? Now, station materials onward is not required for the middle row. You are correct. But it is required for you to finish the bottom row. Like, if you want to get that, you've got to do the entire beta leg. Now, you look at the middle leg, we're going to call it the gamma leg, just in true outlaw fashion. It starts with premium isolytic defense, and you'll note that you have to finish the alpha and beta legs before you can begin the gamma leg. Okay? And I should rephrase. You don't have to finish because the beta leg is longer, but you have to get up to the equilateral point. We have to unlock premium ship part efficiency and premium hull health, which are in the same column. We got to unlock this one below it and this one above it in order to unlock the gamma leg. And then you can go through, and by the way, the end of the gamma leg, in my opinion, is also very valuable. Sorry, I was getting ready to have a heart attack. Premium isolytic damage. 50% increase of isolytic across the board. That's pretty daggone valuable.
It is. That's like a Max Janeway.
Now, Ginmon says, by do, you mean unlock the first level, right? That's what's going to unlock the later prerequisites. Yes. But here's the problem with getting it all, says C Engineering. The problem is, we did some early math on this. You're 5 figures easily, guys, if you cash equivalent this thing. Now, I've always preached against doing that because every single day it will get cheaper, right? Every single day that they source premium currency, this tree becomes cheaper by dollars, okay? Might take a long time to become ultimately cheap, but we've got to look at this thing long term. If you're going to just blow your way through this thing with a credit card, then fine. Doesn't really matter what I say, just do it all. But for me and many other players, we're only going to be doing this research as it becomes available. So Major Samo asks, which premium do you get first, though?
Ooh, good question. I know I have one.
Unfortunately, I have a non-popular answer, Samo. Premium damage versus hostiles. I'm sorry. It's the worst one.
I agree.
It's the worst one of the first three that you can get. But
I agree that's the first one I'm going to get, but it's not the worst one for me.
Really?
Because I don't need more cargo right now.
Well, that's
I see
true.
the value of more cargo.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
don't grind hostiles for faction rep.
Me neither.
See, I'm in the completely different boat. I went top row because I do, and I'm in this weird spot where I'm high 50s. I don't have a 15 billion faction lock to my name. I am killing myself trying to upgrade the doctor, get that tier 5 of 11. And if I sink a little bit of my premium credits into this, I mean, heck, tier 8 of that POSM FKR rep takes me to 380%. 380%. I'm now getting 5 million per hostile.
Here's the problem.
On a 59.
Here's the problem. I'm not looking at these first three nodes because I don't care about any of the three of them. What I care about are the legs that they unlock. And that's what I'm going to encourage. You know, just like earlier, Jules was saying, well, DJ spends kind of stupidly. I like to plan. Well, now I'm going to say the same thing. Plan. All right? Because to me, the first row of these researches is pointless all the way across the board. I don't care about cargo, damage, or reputation. I don't.
All right,
So my perspective. No, here's the thing. First of all, dude, it's 200% base damage to hostiles. Don't give a crap. All right? But on reputation, which admittedly is somewhat nice, it's 50%, but I don't grind reputation. I let my rep grow by dailies. I don't grind rep, ever. And then cargo. I don't necessarily really care about that, but it's automatically nixed for me because it doesn't unlock anything else. I am looking down the road, just like Jules told us to do a minute ago with the dust. I'm looking down the road because I see these efficiencies in the beta leg, and that's what I'm after. I want that. Okay? I will also point out Guru Meditation in the chat says the alpha leg is predominantly PvP. Unless you spend out the butt on other things that are PvP related in this game, it doesn't matter there either. That research tree isn't going to make me survive against Jonathan Ingram. So why should I care? I'm going to work on other things in the game that make me cheaper and better in the PvE track and the efficiency track and the progression track, which is the beta leg. So, which one should I do? It'll probably be the damage one, which is sucky because I don't care. But I do care about premium shield health and hull repair and ship part efficiency.
See, I think that there are a large number of players. There is a large number of players in the game who are chasing faction rep to unlock that ship that they want. Maybe they're going for the pylon. They don't know how they're going to get to that 425 million or whatever. Maybe it's the Enterprise D, level 59, 60. And that's why I'm saying that the positive FKR rep is so attractive to me, because that will slice in a fraction what it's going to take for me to get to that G5 epic that I want to build. So there is something for everybody. There's no wrong path to take here.
Okay.
One of the things I like about this is that this is the same type of conversations we've been having with Dolomite particles. Now that you've got a free-to-play drip, what's the first Dolomite particle research that you do? And not everyone has the same answer. Most people are going to say ship efficiencies. But after that, like, what is the answer? Or, with a prime orbit medallion, what are the answers? And this is, you are right. This is a prime tree that people are getting a free-to-play drip on. Just like prime orbit medallions and the dolomite particles. So we can have that same conversation. What's going to give us value?
Raj says, I want to save it for isolytic damage boost. And saving is a funny term to use there because you're going to have to spend a ton to get to that research node. You're going to have to unlock both the alpha and beta legs all the way through, then work your way through the gamma leg because the isolytic damage boost is the last research there is. But it's very valuable. But it's also going to be the most expensive to get to. So what leg are you going to work on? I guess it depends on what you want. And I will, to Griffin's point and to Jules' point out that it is highly personable, right? Depends on what you want. What do you want to do? What is important to your account? There are players out there that are going to focus on the PvP because they are competitive on their server, right? Players that are at the leading edge of their server will do these researches to keep that edge or even gain the better edge. Okay? So these things are required. And by the way, I guess what are you saying, Rathbon? Look at the ISO damage prerequisite. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a very expensive one to get to. Like, super expensive. Because it requires level 8 of the previous research, the Premium Syndicate one. It requires level 8 just to do the unlock jewels. So, yeah, that's endgame kind of stuff there. That's the end of this tree.
About 135,000 premium dust to get there.
135,000.
Wow.
And right now we're earning 1,000 in an event that costs $100. You do the math.
Or you could buy it directly for $2,000 for $100. So, yeah.
So if you just cash it out, if you just cash it out, you're a $50,000 research tree.
Today.
Oh my God.
Today.
Listen.
Get cheap. It'll get $1 cheaper per day.
Steven Zarin's in this room. I don't know where he is with
His
this.
spirit lives on. His spirit is with us. It's the first week.
There will be efficiencies. There will be primes. There will be ways to knock this down. It's not going to be that way for long. I guarantee it.
Oh, I don't disagree. But it is worth noting that it's a very, very premium, very, very paid entry section right now. And while we do have a few of the free particles, I don't think we're going to get enough of the particles for it to really matter what we choose because we're not going to get to the deeper levels of that tree for quite some time. So, Samo asked the question. She thought I overlooked it. Samo asked the question, why haven't you spent any of it yet for the research event? Because I think, like Rev Deuce did on the Zindi Armadas, I think I'm just going to hang out for a minute, wait for it to get better.
Ooh. Well, I couldn't help myself. I had a hole burn in my pocket. I'm at tier 8 for the FKR. And I'm not mad about it. I burned 400 million rep in the last 45 minutes. Give me a break. Come on.
Yeah, well, I don't grind rep. All right.
I do now.
I don't grind rep. Now, Samo, if I do need to do it just to win this event, then I might, because there's a lot of tritanium in here, and I'm very tritanium broke right now. So I might do that research. I might hold it in my pocket. Right now, I don't need it. All right. I'm ahead by literally 100% upgrade worth of points. But after this episode gets out and people realize how you can score easily by trading down, I'll probably lose.
Oh, man. You spent every shilling of that tritanium.
Oh, yeah, dude. I spent all tokens and everything and still didn't have enough. I had to go complete an event to get the trait that I needed to do that upgrade that day.
Man, you almost went and had to go into your freaking station and claim those little whatchamacallits down on the bottom.
The generators?
Yeah. You're a generator clicker now.
I was. Omicron's like, it's almost
That's
like
an
you
insult
should
around these
shield.
parts.
It's almost like
Generator
you should shield. I don't know. Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah, that's true, Mimi. I saw that. It's already happening. Fun fact, my lead in this event has shrunk by 100,000 points during this show. I appreciate
job,
you. I
DJ.
appreciate you, S-Star, for listening to my content, but curse you, man.
Yep.
Curse you. All right. Listen, there's one other thing that I want to talk about tonight. Jules brought something up to me. This is a fun little thing. I don't know that it's going to make a lot of difference right now, but Jules, in the show notes, I announced that there was something that happened with the already amazing NX01. Let's not pretend that the NX01 is not awesome. The NX01 is great. It's a great loop. It's got a great refinery. It pays well, but holy smokes, it just got better. Tell me why.
No.
Oh.
Okay. This was actually brought my attention by the great Magoo.
Hey, Magoo!
Most of you know him. Most of you know him. Some of you love him. There is one of the researches in the premium tree. I know this is not, you're not going to get there very fast, but it is the premium combat hostile hull.
Right here.
The last word.
Premium hostile combat hull repair.
Okay. Now, take a look at the info button. Take a look at its max level.
20%. Let's read this.
Okay, so
repairs a percentage of hull damage taken during each round of combat against non-armada hostiles. In other words, it's a 100% chance to proc. And once you max this out, which, by the way, is going to be a long time for free-to-play, spenders may pay attention to this. I don't know. At level 5, there's a 100% chance for you to restore 20% of the damage taken in the previous round of combat. Now, this is super important. I'm going to write this down. We're going to pull up a notepad here, Jules, and we're going to write down things. Okay? So, premium research node is 20%. Okay. What next?
So that research is really useful. Now let's go over to the Xborg favors.
Xborg
and what Mimi's
favors. That's in the Xborg faction.
Saying ahead of time.
Yeah, Xborg faction.
What Mimi's saying is that it means no Leslie is necessary. And just to be clear, repairing is different than what Leslie does. What repairing does is it takes the total damage from the previous round and just repairs a percentage of that. So it doesn't, whereas Leslie, he repairs a percentage of, he does not repair, he restores, completely different. He restores a percentage of what your whole health was. So he could restore more than what the damage that you're receiving, which made his value high because then he can keep you alive for a very long time. Problem is, when that battle was over, you died. All that hull was removed and you died. Repair, you keep that, which means that when you are done with the battle, whatever was repaired stays on your hull and you can continue grinding. Okay, so let's continue through here and let's look at some other factors. Emergency protocol. There is one for each type of warship: Explorer, Battleship, and Interceptor. If we just look at the Explorer emergency protocol, because we're sticking with our NX01, near the top of the list, you scroll right past it.
Here it is. Explorer emergency protocol. At the beginning of each round of combat, explorers with morale repair a percentage of hull damage taken from hostiles in the previous round of combat. At level 5, this favor is also 20%. So Xborg favor does notably require morale, but also provides us 20%. Cool.
Indeed.
Next.
Now, the next factor that also provides you some repair is actually down near the bottom. It is NX01 repairs.
NX01 repairs. When fighting Xindi aquatic hostiles with the NX01 at the beginning of each round of combat, repair a percentage of hull damage taken in the previous round of combat. And again, at level 12, this gets to 25%. It's also an Xborg Enterprise favor. Okay, and this just requires Xindi Aquatics. But now we're at 25%. So just as a note, we are now at a total running of 65%. Next.
Now we actually need, for the last piece of the puzzle, an officer. Pick HOU.
Pick HOU. He's terrible. I haven't even unlocked him. I have done so little on this officer that I have only 7 shards.
Let's take a look at his below deck ability.
below deck
Reclaiming
ability.
lives.
Reclaiming lives. At the beginning of each round of combat, HOU repairs 5%, 35% at rank 5 of hull damage taken in the previous round of combat. So we're going to do pick HOU, maxed, tier 5, 35%. Now, wait a second. We were at 65% a second ago, and now 35%. Is that equaling 100%? Hull health repair? Is that
100%?
Is that God mode? Is that immortal NX01?
Not quite. You still have to survive the first round. You have to survive the previous round's damage. But this replaces Leslie. So that Leslie cheese crew that we came up with at the very beginning of this thing, well, they basically kind of provided all of those tools now without Leslie. And no, here's the thing, Omicron, there's not going to be a nerf that comes in this because it is so specific. Right now, it requires an NX01 finding aquatics with morale and all of these factors that are maxed, which, maxing pick HOU is a minimum of 500 days for most players.
Maxing that premium research node is going to cost you about 10 grand.
Oh, come on, DJ.
Okay, 5 grand. 5 grand then. Fine.
Will you stop? You're a fountain of misinformation tonight.
So listen, if you bought it today, it would be thousands of dollars. Agreed? If you bought it today, dude, they're selling 2,000 particles for $100. Okay. You know what? Hang on. You know what? Sorry, Jules. I need a sidebar. Jules.
This is fine.
All right, I'm going to pull up Spock's
Everything
Club.
is fine.
We were just there. We were just on Spock's Club. What was it called? Griffin, what's it called? What's it called? Premium ship repair.
Hostile combat hull repair.
Premium hostile combat
hull repair. And it's the only, you can unlock this for like $400.
Whatever.
You crazy.
Ish.
What's it called? It's not coming up. Premium
hostile combat.
Oh, I'm in ship stats. No wonder. I'm in the wrong page. He got me all excited. Premium ship combat hostile hull extravaganza. That's not pulling anything up.
Extravaganza.
Premium
hostile combat.
Hostile combat hull repair. Got it, found it. Yay. All right, now we need to get that maxed. Level 5. All right, let's see what it's going to take, Griffin. It's going to take 11,680 premium mirror dust. Okay? 11,000. That is $600.
Okay, is it 10,000? Is it 5,000?
Okay,
is it 1,000?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Because the whole point of showing this off is just looking at some really interesting math that just started. Now, this is all theoretical, and we don't think that anyone's going to get there. And even if you do get there anytime soon, it's probably going to not be worthwhile for your NX01 because you're going to be so far beyond this loop. It's not going to make a difference.
Everybody, sorry, Jules, nobody's listening right now because everybody's in the chat is like, is it sad that I said, oh, that's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be? Right. Everyone in the chat's like, oh, only $600? Well,
we've done worse. We've unlocked Mayflowers for $1,000 for God's sake. We're out here.
Hey, wait a second. By the way. Oh, yeah, no, never mind. It's coded right. Yeah, God. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Raid Susie. Thank you. See, I needed that. Talk about the cost of max pick HOU, huh? Do that, Griffin. Griffin.
Well, that's time. The cost is time.
Falcon Paul, how much is it going to cost to get to that node? No, that's what's great about Spock's Club. Okay? Spock's Club is factoring in all of the prerequisites. Look, it's got everything listed here. These are all the prerequisites of premium mirror dust that I would have to spend on to get there. Every single one of these researches is listed here. So I would have to do all of these in order to get there. So,
like the Spock's Club, if you wanted to create an alt account for your mom and spend it all the way up to getting that, that's exactly what you'd have to spend start to finish.
So $600 for the premium particles.
I mean, that's not too bad, relatively speaking.
Except you can only buy one of those packs right now. So, I mean, technically it's impossible. Technically.
I know. That's the bummer. But yeah.
So you know what? No. It's not. So no, it's not $600. I'm actually going to say it would cost $1,200 because right now you can earn 1,000 particles for spending $100 in the game through the quantum events.
Oh my god!
Right.
Technically, so you can buy 2,000 for $100, but you can also earn 1,000 for $100 in the various quantum events.
You can indeed. See, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Keep wailing.
Oh my god! This is not where I thought this was going.
$1,200 for an Immortal God Mode NX01. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
If you're a fan of the franchise.
I think that is interesting because when we first saw this mechanic come out, we all thought it was too small to really matter.
I know.
And I'm seeing this continue to come out, more of these options coming out, whether it's in PvP or PvE. And I think that this type of repair mechanic is going to get better and better. And there is potentially a chance that not just the NX01 in this one particular situation can actually repair most of its hole. It may become a bigger part of your gameplay. So just something to look out for.
Yeah, just throwing that out there. Corellius. Gosh darn it. Scopely, give me my freaking creator code right now. Corellius says Scopely just made $1 million because of this show. Damn it!
I'm telling you.
Exact
you would never know
opposite
about the stuff
intention.
that were not for the show. You would never know about it.
Balabom is right, though. Even though it's a limit 1 pack, how many can you actually buy? You can technically get like 4. Technically.
You sure could.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that.
Technically. Saying. I'm throwing it out there. Okay.
Kind of sounds fun to have a God Mode NX01 rolling around.
No, it wouldn't be rolling around. It's still only against the aquatics because that is this Enterprise favor is only against the aquatic battleships.
Okay, well, then I'm only having 75% of my hull damage repaired. Oh, no.
Yeah, Jonathan Ingram says next month. I see incoming. Pick HOU no longer applies to Zindi.
Yeah,
right. No, they're not going to do it next month. They're going to wait till everybody gets it at tier 5. Obviously,
correct. And then, now that would be a bait and switch.
That would be bait and switch.
There's your bait and switch.
There's your bait and switch. Okay. Oh lordy. Okay.
So if you're gonna complain correctly.
All right. Listen, we have covered everything in our show notes. All of it. I am going to bring our Discord over. We're going to do a spam it drawing right now for 5 Battle Pass winners. If you have not done so and you are in our live listening audience, then please make your way to the spam it room and do your final last second entries. We're going to do it right here on stream. All right, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. 60 seconds to get registered. And if you're listening to this in podcast form, we did announce 24 hours ago, actually closer to 30 hours ago now, that we were going to do this. So hopefully you had a chance to enter. But don't worry, because I've got so much winning and so many more things to do on the stage of this show over the next couple of months. We're very, very excited about it. I do want to remind you very quickly in our announcements room. Actually, no, I believe, where did we put it? Is the form for the Miami Talking Trek Community Con. I think it's in the Star Trek The Cruise announcements room. Yeah, there's a Google form. I need you guys to go and fill that out if you plan on coming to Miami with us. Remember, no cruise required. This is just if you want to come and hang out in Miami because I'm looking for a head count. We are currently, actually crazy enough, sitting at about 45 people, which is great. All right, but I'd like to go.
It's like our own little TwitchCon, but for Star Trek and for kitty cats.
Yeah, we got about 45 RSVPs here so far, so I'm looking for. We got to cut that off here in the next week or two, so please do go. I will pin it in the Twitch chat, and I will try to find it and put it somewhere else.
We really need a promo. We need a 30-second spot for that.
Yeah, I probably do. But anyway, be sure to fill out that Google form if you plan on trying to come and meet up with us in Miami. I remind you, there's going to be some surprises there. Beck and I and Hammy are working on a couple of things, and you don't even know. And I'm not allowed to tell you yet. But I'm just saying, it's going to be some cool stuff, so you might want to come down there. Even if you're not going on the cruise, come down, hang out with us.
There will be punch and pie.
And in case you're worried about any privacy or anything like that, that's right. Only myself and Beck will be seeing this information. Okay, that's it. Nobody else has access to the forum. Nobody. It's in my personal Google Drive. So if it's, you're worried about your name or anything like that or anything like that, don't worry about it. It's just me, and I'm trustworthy. All right. Spam it room. We're going to draw 5 names. I'm locking the room officially in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the room is locked. The room is locked. So now we're going to come in here and we're going to do spam it. Pick. And we're going to announce that Jerry X. McRae has won a free battle pass. We're going to announce that Ainen Games has won a free battle pass. Congratulations to you. Bad Boy has won a free battle pass. Commander Green Knight has won a free battle pass. And lastly, Miss Tribble Trouble from Server 67 has won a free battle pass. Thank you guys so very much for being a part of our community. Thank you for entering the Spam It contest, and congratulations on your free premium battle pass unlock for the month of June. Please do be sure to DM me over on Discord and send me your player ID, as I am under the time crunch to get these things turned in. So be sure and send that to me over as quickly as you possibly can. Griffin, do we have anything else to go over? Blue, Jules, anything else that we need to talk about here tonight? And by the way, thank you guys so very much for your incredibly insightful, in-depth analysis. This is the kind of show that I love. Thank you so very, very much for providing us that content and the spreadsheets and all that stuff. You guys are masters, second to none, and I'm very, very grateful. By the way, congratulations to no, not going there yet. Not going there yet, Griffin. I've got secrets. I've got surprises.
Okay.
I've got surprises.
Well, you really do learn things on this podcast that you're not going to learn anywhere else, and that's really. And if we make you laugh along the way, I guess that's good. We do have the card unlocked. We do have data unlocked, so we can always hit up the whale cam on our next show and talk about those 2 officers and how they interact and what's going on there, DJ.
What tier's your data?
4.
You did not. What? You did?
I mean, double pulls. You double pull. You get that. You got to spend them on something. Come on.
Oh my God.
What?
Nothing.
He's not max. This is tier 4. That's where it gets a little crazy. But, it's interesting to see what the 2 of them do with a little Dazok below deck. And I'd like to explore that a little bit on the next show, see what's going on.
All right, we'll take, I know retrieving. What? It's tier 4. Jesus criminy.
It's not as bad as you think.
Oh, God, it sounds as bad as I think.
Synergy. There's a lot of synergy going on here.
How much liquid D did you need for that one?
Not a lot, just like 12,000.
There's a reason why he's not tier 5.
Yeah, because it's mathematically impossible. It literally cannot be done. That's right, Candy White. Whaling with Griffin. On the next show, we're going to open up the Talking Trek whale cam, and you're going to have an opportunity to come in and check out and see what's happening on Griffin's. I know. Griffin is the new Bubba Joe. Holy smokes! Is that what you're doing? Are you trying to fill Bubba's shoes?
I want it all. I want it now.
Well, hello there. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much for coming out and checking out the show tonight. My name is Ultimate DJz. Thank you for being here on the stage of Talking Trek, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. I would like to invite you to visit our website at talkingtrekstfc.com, where you will be able to find and link on over to our YouTube channel and our merch. Oh, God, merchandise. Listen, Candy White has officially launched 2 new pieces of Talking Trek merchandise. All right, go to talkingtrekstfc.com. talkingtrekstfc.com and click on merch at the very, very top. And he has launched a new Get Eviscerated mug. And he also launched a You Punch Drunk Kitty Cat Bitch. They did. It is going to be available on the merch store. You can find it at TalkingTrekSTFC.com. Also finding our YouTube and our Patreon, where I'd like to invite you to come on in and support the show financially, whether it be at $5, $10, whatever. At $10 or more, we actually read your names here on the show. And I'd like to say thank you to those players now. Lord Neelix, Lady Kess, thank you. Trader, Iron Chef, Virtual Army, Macrack, Regis, J-Berg, Shady Pines, Big Shakes, Lobot, It's Hunter, Dagora, Cruzita, Ransusi, Hank, Abe, DJ Ger, MC101, Late Under Light Bull, Louis P, Osiris, Bayonetta, Grog, Archangel, Smoke, Mohawk, Jet Ski, Papa Smurf, Jason, Captain Jack, Vidium, Scorpionus, Archer, and Honey, and Dominus, Casey Jones, Wet Willie, Joe, K92, Sir Tail, A Fox, Judge Crane, G-Force, Baminkus, Captain Q, Game Jr., Admiral Inwater, Choctaw Roar, Scarlet Hawk, Kendall, DJ's got rated again, Jag, and Never Go Full, Telly Blue, Mandalorian, Noxus, Exhibitor, Furbax, Dr. Link, Clueless One, Schizoido, Welch, Gunner, Unimatrix, Gornography Addict, The Web, Balabob, King of 101, J-Babes, Dark Knight, Pixelate, Buddy, Yukai Nico, Spectre, Diva Dorsal, Oster 90, Shoopster, Griffin, Meme Bean, Thomas, Matters, Shannara, Rogue 5, Squirrel Noggin, Kathy, It's Jess, Insanity, Paviella, DJ's Better Refine More, ISO, Sweet and Psycho, and Lieutenant Collins. Thank you guys so very, very much. I appreciate you guys for supporting Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I am indeed your friendly neighborhood cat person saying meow for now. Love you, minute. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Meow.